Well, that's going to be an issue, Phil. Keep talking. I think you're good now. I honestly, I think the resetting helped.
All right, so guys, let us know if you can hear me. No audio. Everyone's going fucking apeshit. I don't know. My name is Phil Balabanos. Read my lips.
Guys, there's definitely audio. YouTube was having some issues, so we restarted the stream. So now you should be able to see us and hear us.
I don't know. Everyone's saying no sound in general now. Oh, working now. Okay, we're
yeah,
good.
It's
we're
working.
back.
We reset the stream. I don't want to have to do this fucking again. So hopefully everything goes well. But it's not just us. Apparently, it's other live channels that are having issues too. Our connection going out to YouTube right now says excellent.
It is excellent.
It is excellent. So it's not our internet quality. It's not anything we're doing. There we go. It was everybody. Yeah, it was everybody. Everybody was having the same issue. Everybody was watching on YouTube. I wonder if other streamers noticed though. May I pay attention to the chat, just so I could make sure that there's no fuckery, or else we would have kept going. I would have known. All right, Phil. So we wished you a good morning. Let's go live to George in Brossard. AG.
What's going on?
We're good. Thank you, George. That was that's the kind of enthusiasm that we needed this morning. What's going on, guys? It was good.
I'm gonna turn off this beeping while you guys introduce George.
All right. So George came to us this morning with a lot of news that made him angry yesterday night. Let's see if he still has that kind of enthusiasm this morning.
You make me look like the angriest person. I wasn't angry. I was just going through the weekly happenings
of the world.
The haps.
Yeah, I sent you the weekly happenings from Poseidon. He sent me a child trafficking conspiracy theory from Wayfair. What is it? The furniture company?
Online furniture company. Yeah.
Wayfair.ca.
Yeah, we'll get to that after Poseidon because George doesn't want to touch it.
Okay.
His biggest sponsor is Wayfair right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just Us Dads brought to you by Wayfair.
And all his neighbors' kids went missing. So very suspicious. Very suspicious. No, but George has some real news, real upsetting news. Most of them dealing with debt in the government.
Yeah, well, we're just gonna go quickly through that because honestly, at this point, there's really not much to say. I mean, we've spoken about this on previous episodes. This week, the finance minister Bill Morneau came out with an economic update just to give us citizens and taxpayers kind of like a bird's eye view of the current state of affairs. And we have passed $340 billion in deficit.
We made it.
Yeah. We the North.
Yeah, and record-breaking numbers, and our national debt is now above 1.2 trillion. That's 12, I believe, zeros.
We're number one.
What?
We're number one. We're number one.
So yeah, I'll just leave that one there. There's not much else to say. I mean, what else can we say? I mean,
now George, for the layman,
yeah.
for the regular folk, which is me, watching this program right now, what does that mean for everyone's future? We're still going to have a pension. Everything's going to still go fine, right? We're not going to notice that we're in debt, right? Taxes are not going to go up.
If you have a pension, it's obviously things to worry about. We'll see what happens in March if ever we get there, because I'm still suspecting that there may be a federal election in September this fall, especially if there's no major second phase of this pandemic. If I were true, I'd definitely be dropping the hammer.
He already dropped the ball, Joe.
Yeah, he dropped the ball,
for sure. Yeah.
His boyfriend's balls.
I don't know. I think we're gonna find out exactly what's gonna be happening next year in March, where the actual budget comes out. Obviously, I'm suspecting tax hikes and a series of measures.
Can we handle as regular people? Can we handle tax hikes? We're already, especially in Quebec, so taxed. And people are struggling. Isn't a tax hike just going to kill people, kill the family?
It is. Yeah, it is. But someone has to pay for this, right? So if there's no tax hike, it's just going to take longer for us to cover for this.
Yeah.
So
I have an idea. Shouldn't the people responsible have to pay for it? Isn't that how normally this works? Crime and debt.
We are the people responsible. We are the ones that put these people in office. Are the ones that are going to be paying for these things.
So then, doesn't that mean that anyone who didn't vote for Trudeau and voted against him, shouldn't they not have to pay for it?
Right?
Yeah.
I didn't vote for him.
Yeah.
I should be absolved, right?
I like that.
Let's
all fucking publicize who we voted for. That'll end well.
Well, no, because look, if you're trying to blame people based just on the association of, well, you voted for him and that's what he did, so then that means that the people who didn't vote for him shouldn't have to foot the bill. It doesn't make sense. Also, if we're talking about COVID-19 causes for this debt, then that bill should be sent directly to fucking China.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get us off this. But see, this is what bothered, and I tweeted about this this week. They make the announcement for the economic update, and the finance minister comes out, and even Justin Trudeau came out and said, it was tough times. We get it, right? There's a pandemic.
Yeah.
There were necessary programs that needed to be in place, and I agree fully with those programs, by the way. But this is what frustrates me, because I've been in this environment. Okay, there's these people that have jobs that specifically are called the spinsters. They take the bad news and they have to spin it in a way where it seems positive. And the only reasonable line that they came up with was that we assumed the debt so that the citizens wouldn't have to.
Which doesn't make any sense.
No, but and I read that and I did kind of like a double take. I was like, wait a second. Who pays for these things anyway?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's our money.
I mean, that's pretty magnanimous. That's nice of them. Can we thank them publicly on the show? Thank you, guys. Thank you.
It's like, we're the ones still paying for this. What do you mean you guys took on the debt so that we wouldn't have to? What? Anyway, that's it, guys. I'm going to leave that out there. There's nothing much else to say. I mean, this is the situation we're in. We're going to be in it for, quite a few decades. Generations. My kids, probably their kids, will be paying this off.
So doesn't that mean that a lot of people are getting ready for their pension? They won't have a pension. It won't exist. What are they going to do?
I think we're lucky enough to have solid infrastructure in place where the pensions are, I don't want to say guaranteed, but I mean, it's still safe, I think, the pensions.
How? Because don't we normally have that problem with teachers and police? Whenever people fuck around with their pensions, you don't think that the regular people's pensions are going to get fucked up with a couple $1 trillion on our backs?
I don't know, and I hope it doesn't affect.
It depends who holds the pension, like the funds itself. Like, where is it invested? If it's a government fund.
I heard it was all invested in this new product from China, this canned bat soup, and it didn't go too well. It's not selling well anymore.
Canned bat soup.
Yeah.
Canned bat soup.
Campbell's owned the night. It was delicious.
Exactly. Let's move on to something else that has really preoccupied the media space this week and last week, because we did speak about this last week, and that was, just to put everybody in the loop.
Can I guess?
Go do it.
Is it #Boob Gift Friday?
No.
What is that?
Okay, never mind.
Gift.
I don't know. When we were looking for stories last night, it was trending.
Oh.
It was just gifts of boobs on Twitter. It was strange.
That's beautiful.
Poseidon.
No, this is just to follow up on what we spoke about last week. And just to get everybody kind of just put out the context, we spoke about a plan that the Trudeau government had to allocate close to $1 billion to an organization called We Charity.
Oh, yeah.
And with the purpose of taking over the administration of of Canada's summer youth volunteer programs.
Oh, right, yeah.
Remember, to strangely, offer a pay to these volunteers, that program. So
that's called an employee.
Yeah, exactly. So the opposition quickly rose to that task of calling out this decision and brought to light another possible conflict of interest.
Oh, it is a conflict of interest for both of those cocksuckers. You give it to him, George.
No. This is just a follow-up from last week, right?
Yeah,
so
but give it to him. I heard about how they were paying his mother to speak.
They came out with news that the Trudeau family had very close ties with this organization, etc., and especially with the two co-founders. They brought out facts that his wife has been closely linked to this organization. She is somewhat of an ambassador of this organization. She hosts a podcast that this organization has created. She's very often invited to appear as a speaker at their events.
She hosts a podcast.
Is that all? That's it? That's the only affiliation?
There's more. There's more.
No,
and already that's excessive because he's basically taking our money to pay his family.
Up to speed from last week, all right?
Yeah.
Right. So after all this happened, the opposition called the ethics commissioner to look into it as a possible conflict of interest, and then suddenly the organization pulls out from the deal. They said, "Look, you know what? We're not going to overdo this." So this is last week. So this is what happens this week, all right? Because the plot thickened.
Yes,
right?
it thickened.
Like it got really thick, right?
Like a nice canned bat soup, maybe.
It's thick girl summer, guys. Listen to this.
Like a chunky bat soup. Yeah. So there was a series of information that came out that honestly are worrisome, to say the least. So here's what happens this week. First, we find out that in fact Sophie Gregoire Trudeau, so his wife, she wasn't the only Trudeau family member involved with this organization, but so were his mother Margaret and his younger brother Alexander, who together were paid upwards of $300,000 in speaking engagements for the We charity.
Oh, shit.
We're going to get back to these things. Second thing we find out, as if that wasn't enough, Finance Minister Bill Morneau also has ties with this organization since both of his daughters are involved. One on a volunteer basis as a speaker and the other one as an actual paid employee.
But is she a paid volunteer?
No, that program hasn't been in place. Yeah. Maybe that's what they were going for. My daughter needs a salary as a volunteer. But look, on a more serious note, guys, to be honest with you, I honestly, and I thought about this all week, I don't think I have a problem with any of these things. Okay, I don't really care if the Trudeau families, if his immediate family is called to speak at their event and they got paid. They're private individuals and, they can do whatever they want. If the organization feels that they want to invite them because of their name or because of whoever they are to speak, and if they decide to pay them, good for them. It's their business. I really don't care.
However, I'm going to say one thing, George. I'm with you. I'm with you. They're private citizens. Somebody wants to pay them. However, that company should find its money elsewhere, not want to take $900 million from us to pay the princess's mom. All right?
But you know what the thing is, even if you wanted government funds, there's a way to do it, right? And this is what I'm going to get to, because even when it comes to Bill Morneau's daughters, I really don't care. You can be involved with any organization you want.
Except maybe ISIS.
Yeah, except ISIS, yeah. But so that part really doesn't bother me, the fact that their families are involved and even that they get paid. What bothers me most is to know that based on other information that came out this week, that when this topic of allocating nearly $1 billion of public funds, this is our money, right, to this organization, when this topic came up during the cabinet discussions, both Trudeau and Morneau, they stated that they did not recuse themselves from these discussions. And this is what bothers me. This is what is unacceptable. And it's difficult to see how they could not be in a violation of the Conflict of Interest Act.
Because they are.
That bothers me. So that your family is involved. You know that your daughters are involved. You know that the cabinet meetings the cabinet discussions that you're about to have are going to be focused on giving nearly $1 billion to those organizations. And you don't feel the need to say, guys, I'm in conflict of interest. Come on, man. You're Bill Morneau. Okay, your company is called Morneau Chappelle. You know exactly what conflict of interest means.
It's a misspelling. It was Moron Chappelle earlier, but they...
You know what I mean? So it's like, what's going on here? So we find out all this information. Now the opposition has asked the RCMP to open a criminal investigation on this matter. They're asking to know which other cabinet members were aware of the existing ties that Trudeau and Morneau had with the organization and what role they played in the decision-making process. That's the other thing. If I know you, Phil, I know Pantelis, I know Poseidon. Hypothetically, if you have kids or if you have, whatever you're involved with if we're friends, I probably will know. Like, okay, you guys are running a studio. Who's part of the studio? Who's involved with you? Blah, blah. Like, I know. If I'm a cabinet member, if I'm a cabinet minister, and we're discussing about a project that I know affects you, and I know that you're involved somehow, and I know that your family is involved, am I in conflict of interest as well? So that's the other question that is being asked right now. So
I don't know if you're in conflict of interest, but you definitely have like a moral obligation to say something.
Exactly. Yeah. So it goes much deeper than just these two things. The Bloc Québécois leader, Yves-François Blanchet, even went as far as to suggest that Trudeau step aside as prime minister and allow his vice prime minister, Chrystia Freeland, to take over while the investigation is being conducted.
That's not a bad idea.
Well, I'm not sure if it's going to happen.
But obviously, Trudeau's like, are you crazy? You see how bad I fucked this up? You think I'm going to let a chick take over? You guys are nuts.
No, because by doing that, you automatically
guilty.
Accept that you were in the wrong before the decision was being made, right? So I'm not sure that's going to happen.
Wait, who's the vice prime minister? Do we know her?
Yeah, Freeland. We've seen her only for the first time, really, during COVID.
She used to be the foreign affairs minister.
Oh,
She's
her.
that-
Oh, no, I thought it was somebody good. Oh, forget her. She's the one that cries every time. Remember when she went to those the NAFTA meetings and they told her to go fuck herself and she started crying? Yeah, no, we don't need that. We need a strong leader.
What? I don't remember this.
Yeah.
I don't think it was for the NAFTA. I think it had to do with
the European Union, maybe?
possible the UN. It was in Europe, I think. She was in Europe somewhere. I can't remember. I don't know.
And she
Anyway,
was saying stupid things like she's like, oh, let me tell you guys. And then they look at it and they go, you know what the fuck? Shut up. Yeah. They're like, shut the fuck up, dummy. And she started, they don't like me. They don't believe in my bullshit. So since then, I don't respect her.
She's not that bad. She's not that bad.
I don't know much about her.
Look,
I don't like
I'm
her.
afraid that we're not.
And when she goes to
done
UN,
yet.
she's always there with her crew. They're goofing on people. They're like, it looks like high schoolers fucking around with, like, there's political leaders trying to be, and they're like, look at Trump, like, oh shit, like that. It's like, get the fuck out of here, you dummy. You're fucking representing
How do you
Canada.
know this, man? How do you know this? Are you?
I
there?
watch this shit, bro. I watch all the fucking videos, bro. Yeah.
He's there. He's
Fun fact.
I watch this. Yeah.
Live.
Because I don't get all my news from fucking CBC, boys. That's why.
So
that
I
still
don't
around?
We had a vice prime minister.
Yeah, we do. of
Yeah,
course.
just in case
Poseidon, happy birthday.
just in case he gets sick, dies, you have to have someone ready.
Yeah, you have to. Who's the vice premier of Quebec?
It's Guilbeault.
I don't know who that is
She's,
either.
Geneviève.
Also a
Guilbeault.
woman, huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
also-
right. Yeah. I remember her.
She's
yeah,
also the
Is she any good?
public safety minister. She's okay. She's the one that came out during the COVID. She had replaced the Premier Legault for an announcement.
Yeah, that's right.
And said that Quebecers need to be docile.
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember
fuck
that.
yeah. Can I say, what's up with these vice in North America? We never take care of the vice. Like, even in the States, like Pence, who looks like a fucking, like a ventriloquist dummy. Like, why don't people take vice president seriously? Remember Obama had Joe Biden, who was fucking retarded? Like, no one takes the vice president role seriously. Get a good vice president. What if something happens to you?
That's because we see them as second place.
Still.
Second place is just the first one to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Fucking idiot.
he's been saving that.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah,
saying-
but
It wasn't the right time.
no. If something happens to the person in charge, that second place, first place loser
Yeah,
is
he's in
gonna
charge.
have to take over.
Don't
right?
you want someone of quality?
No, just
Yeah.
Like,
I mean-
how did
So
Trudeau
look,
pick this one anyway?
To get back to this, I'm sure that there's more stuff that's going to come out this week. It looks like it's going to be an interesting week. That's for sure.
Not really. I don't trust the media to do its
there's a lot
part
of stuff
in
going
cutting
on.
him down. I don't trust the ethics committee. I don't trust the RCMP. There's been so much fuckery with this government that's gone swept under the rug. I don't trust the system.
Look,
I think
you know
it's
what?
a systematic issue.
Are you disenfranchised?
I'm not sure, Pantelis, because both times that they launched an investigation, Justin was found guilty. So you know that it is being done independently. They're looking at exactly.
Who cares, George?
Yeah, who cares if nothing
He's
happens?
still prime minister.
Yeah.
Oh, no, of course, yeah. Nothing's going to happen.
Nothing's gonna
But that's what I'm saying. So what's they could say you're guilty of anything if he's like business as usual. Yeah, of course, keep doing what the fuck you're doing. Keep fucking up the country. Then what do I care? Like this is all a farce.
It's
Look,
not like
it's
there's a better
frustrating.
option.
Huh?
What?
it's very frustrating to look at.
There is a better option, and the better
Don't say
option is
Jagmeet.
no. I don't like Jagmeet Singh. I don't like Jagmeet. I don't even like first of all the conservatives right now. Who do they have? Shear still. I don't even like
Sure,
that guy.
yeah.
Fear.
The
This
only
is
guy I like
why
from the
think
conservatives is that guy that George knows. Polivo. What's his name? Polyvalent. What's his name?
Poilievre. No,
Poilievre.
he's not running. He's
No,
not running.
he's not running. If he was running, I'd vote for that guy. That guy's fucking hilarious.
Isn't that
Yeah,
crazy
he's
guy?
the-
No, he's not. He's the guy with the
Crazy
glasses.
who's like standing on a nationalist platform.
No.
He's conservative.
He's the critic. He's the finance critic in
Yeah.
opposition.
Oh, right.
I love him.
Yeah.
Little guy with glasses.
Yeah, because he's small. He
yeah.
gets out there. He's like, listen, bitches, and then he gets started. I'm like, I like this guy.
It's funny. Anyway, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, look, this is up to us, man. I mean, these are things that every common person should be able to see and judge if whether or not they deserve to be reelected. I mean, and the thing is that you look at the polls and the guy's he's never done better. You understand? So
I don't understand that. Who the fuck are they polling?
Look,
Like-
it's perception, man. Like I said before in other podcasts, nobody sits down to read the news. Everyone
Yeah.
gets the little clips here and there. Trudeau has an amazing team doing a great job in terms of his visibility.
It's called
his social
propaganda.
media, his communications. Like they're doing a great job, right?
The propaganda minister is A1 in Canada. That's 100% true.
Eva Braun.
Ava, yeah, whoever the fuck it is. But you know what, George, you know who I really liked, but she was not in the running. She was just there interim. Remember the interim conservative speaker? The lady, Rana Ambrose.
Yeah, that's right.
I liked her. I liked her, but I found out from the beginning when she started talking, she said, I don't want to be a leader of, I'm not running for this. I'm doing this interim till they figure out what's going on, then I'm leaving. She never, because I think she has business, she has her own life. She's like, I don't want to do this. But her, I liked.
Normally when you run as an interim leader, you automatically accept that you won't be running as a leader because you're getting so much visibility, so that it's understood that the interim leader cannot run for the leader. She did a great job up until Scheer came in.
I really liked her. Her, I would vote for, and I think she
was very good.
Much about her.
Yeah, she was very good.
Yeah.
She was very good, and there were members of the party that actually ran after her to force her or kind of to sway her into running now for the leadership. She obviously refused. Like you said, she has her own private life now.
She's like, I don't want to deal with these dummies. Like, because you know what it is, Phil? Once you get into that, they're trying to take you down. People are trying to find dirt on you. You're always arguing. You want to you want to be happy. You don't need fucking Trudeau and the rest of his propaganda midgets running around being, you used a plastic straw. You're evil. You don't want that shit. You just want to eat with your kids.
I don't know if you guys remember this, but like, what year was it, George? You were still in provincial politics when the NDP, that orange wave, right, like took over. When was that?
2011.
So
the vomit. I remember.
So early 2011, I get approached by the NDP to run. I don't know if you remember this.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, "You want me to do what?" They're like, "Yeah. There's this riding. You'd be great." I'm like, "I'm 22 at the time, or whatever I was, 24." I go, "I have no political experience besides community politics, and I'm a filmmaker." They're like, "It's perfect."
It's perfect.
Like,
this is to run in 2011.
Right before they won.
Yeah,
right?
most
they were
youths
trying to position people.
Yeah.
And I was like,
run.
I know, but I was like, I don't want to be in fucking politics.
In Montreal or in Quebec, you would have had a.
Yeah, I would have had a fucking government pension by now. I would have been on the Senate, George.
Yeah, but you would have helped the communists in Canada. So I don't know about that.
They didn't actually do anything with any of those. Like the guy who ended up taking that position, he was a municipal street cleaner.
Good.
Like he drives the little truck with the little.
Which riding are you talking about?
Somewhere in Chamonix.
Oh yeah, they won Chamonix.
Yeah, of course he won by a landslide, and then he's like, I don't speak English and I only drive the truck. Nice guy, but not a politician.
You're damn right. He's nice. Without him, you'd have dirty streets, Phil.
No, I don't live in Laval, so they have dirty streets. I'm just saying.
Those are the only people that should be
looking up dirt on me.
The only people that should be elected officials should be people that worked. It should be people that work in the city. It should be either like firemen, garbage men. It should all be people that did real work to help out the city. They're the only ones that should be allowed to go in politics. Because first of all, they know how shitty people are. They know how shitty people are, and clearly they work hard for the goddamn city around them. They're the only people, and they're the ones that get the least respect, and they're the ones that should get the fucking most respect.
You fell into a trap because you're talking about all municipal workers.
No, not all municipal workers. The ones that actually help. Not the people that like the one that we see outside the studio.
What about the guys, like the Stampy McStampersons? Those guys.
Not just Stampy. I want people out doing stuff. Like, remember that girl that we saw that's outside our new studio?
Stampy McStamperson. That's what I used to do for the government when I worked for the government. I would stamp things all day. Boom, boom.
There's a girl that we've seen her. I've seen her on 3 different occasions in the same week outside the new studio. Because every time we go to check out the contractors or whatever, she's outside walking down the block up and down with a notepad, looking at trees, buildings, taking it down. Like. That's all. She's getting paid to walk around. I thought it was a census, but she's surveying something that we don't know, we don't get, and she's not wearing a mask either.
Yeah, but
just saying,
she's not talking to anyone.
Well, maybe people will talk to her if she wore a mask.
Maybe. Poseidon's going to find her right now. He's like, yo, that bitch was hot.
He keeps fucking around. He shows up late. He black screens us.
He's either smoking a cigarette and doesn't want to do it on camera.
He doesn't realize he's 47 seconds away from getting fired. But
are your balls sweaty? Do you have a bat cave? Is that
Poseidon? Why do you keep fucking around?
You changed your shirt?
No.
That was fast.
Poseidon, why do you keep fucking around? Why do you keep shutting the camera? What's going on?
Yeah,
no, my alarm went off.
Your house alarm?
My alarm. I had to turn it off.
You got to do what I do, Poseidon, just in case of emergencies. Bam, stunt double.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look, I'm paying attention.
And it's a completely different angle too.
Yeah, it's
the same angle. It's just zoomed in a little.
No, it's a different angle. It's backwards.
No, it's a different angle.
Yeah, it's mirrored. Yeah.
It's like reverse. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I screen grab. Yeah.
Yeah. So, George, carry on with the morning news.
All right, guys. So the other thing that happened yesterday, and that touches us a little bit closer, comes closer home.
What?
Yeah. This is an issue that shocked pretty much the international community yesterday, following a court approval in Turkey.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Turkey's president Tayyip Erdogan announced.
Norwegian.
I like how you said president, like he's an actual president. The Sultan.
He's the region.
Exactly. That's exactly what he's becoming. So he announced that Hagia Sophia Cathedral would be converted once again to a functioning mosque. So for the people that don't know what this church represents or what this structure is, just a little bit of history. So this is a cathedral that was built in 537 A.D. So this is during the reign of Roman Emperor Justinian, not Justin Trudeau.
No. The emperor was straight, from what I hear.
Yeah. So it was at that time considered the largest structure in the world and also the first to have a dome.
It was the largest freestanding dome, no? Or is it still? Outside the Vatican. Outside the Vatican, it is the largest freestanding dome in existence.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's...
And for the time that it was built, of course, right? So it became the seat of the Ecumenical Patriarch of Constantinople, and it remained the largest cathedral for nearly 1,000 years up until the construction of Seville Cathedral in 1520 in Spain. So after the fall of Constantinople in 1453 by the Ottoman Empire, it was converted to a mosque up until 1935 when Kemal Atatürk, the first Turkish president and founder of the Republic of Turkey, converted it to a secular museum. So it's important to mention here that it has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since the 1920s.
Yeah.
And the UN has been trying to halt this decision since Erdogan first spoke about it in 2018, invoking a breach of the Convention on the Protection of the World Cultural Heritage.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Which Turkey has, of course, signed and knows fully well that any change needs to be submitted and authorized by the World Heritage Committee. So in other words, Turkey has once again ignored international treaties and conventions with this decision that many countries have condemned, including Greece, of course, which considered this move as an affront to religious and cultural freedoms, distancing Turkey even more from its European and Western counterparts. Turkey's president has come under fire in the past years after a constitutional reform gave him exceptional powers.
Yeah, and every time he loses, the best part about him is every time he loses his municipal election, he stops it. The guy who won gets put in jail. And he's like, redo the elections. Let's see what happens now. And people are cool with this. So
Did he have like a fake coup?
yeah, he had a fake coup. Remember the fake coup?
Right?
Remember the fake coup?
You guys still think it's fake? You guys believe in
No.
that?
I know it's fake.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It
George,
seemed pretty
if
fucking-
you look into it, it's 100%. What he did was, it was just so people that were against him picked their heads up. And as soon as they did that, he put in jail, and they still are, scholars, teachers, policemen, people in the army, everyone that was against him, they're all in jail.
Everyone was
exposed. And when he's flying around in a fucking helicopter looking at a tank that's pointing at him, that was apparently a coup tank, they would have shot him out of the fucking sky. All right, but they did nothing because they were told to stand down. It was a fake fucking coup. And that's why those kids that went to Greece to escape, remember those soldiers? And Greece didn't want to give them back.
They're still held in Greece.
They're still held in Greece because they fucked Greece over because Greece can't give him back because he openly said that they're going to go to jail and they're going to get tortured. And Greece is like, well, now you fucked us because now we can't give him away.
That's because
the
Greece
Geneva
is
Convention.
National treaties, exactly. You understand? So, and I think that's where the relations started, hitting a downhill.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, he's been criticized in the last years. He's come under fire. These exceptional powers that he that he himself brought in as constitutional changes, have made him seem as laying the foundations of a sultanate. He
is trying, and this is his words, to restart the Ottoman Empire. Okay, and he's been doing it for years. And now he's trying to corner Greece. He's trying to provoke us, and he's going around and he's trying to make alliances with different Islamic countries around the southern Mediterranean to try to corner us and start this new empire. Now, recently, some countries are kind of telling him to go fuck himself. Like I think his ambassador didn't have a good time in Tunisia last week. Libya is being split in half. He's trying to basically get Libya on board. Egypt, same thing. Egypt he's having trouble with because Egypt is siding more towards Greece with this whole Cyprus-Greece pipeline. So he's having an issue there, but that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to restart basically a militaristic empire down there. And we're, as in the free world, to blame as well because there's military sanctions against Turkey that you're not allowed to sell them weapons, but both Germany and Canada are actively selling them weapons right now. So they don't care. So whatever they come out and say that they care about peace, they care about democracy, they don't, because they're selling this stuff to a non-democratic country, because that's not a democracy. Changing the rules to keep winning is not a democracy. Anytime someone speaks out against you, you put them to jail or they disappear, that's not a democracy, okay? And for the Hagia Sophia thing, I'm a huge Constantinople guy. I'm an AEK Athens supporter. Our new stadium that's going to be ready next year is called Hagia Sophia. And just when that came out, Turkish media was saying that that's a provocation, that AEK Athens is naming the stadium Hagia Sophia because they own it now. Hagia Sophia, it's in Constantinople, and that AEK is doing it to piss them off. So I don't get along with this. However, I will say one thing: they do have the city now, and they can do whatever they want with the building within their rights. Because they do own the city for now. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's not what bothers me.
What do you for now?
For now, bro. Don't worry, I got plans.
Don't worry about it, Phil. Don't worry about it.
But what bugs me is that the reason why he's doing this is not because of a huge demand to make it a mosque. He's doing it to provoke us and to make us angry. That's what bothers me.
Exactly.
Like this is an Islamic country that literally can build a mosque wherever it wants, right? And
Yeah.
it has thousands of mosques, which is fine because the majority of their population is Muslim. But this is a massive structure. I understand if for some reason they couldn't build any more mosques. We ran out of space. We need this space. They don't need the space.
No,
They're
he's
just,
doing it just to piss us
They're
off.
just doing it to they're it's a weird flex.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
what it
weird
is.
flex. That's what it is.
It's a
But like
weird
I said,
flex.
it's his country. It's on his bar. But if they were doing it for different reasons, but the reason why he's doing it, we know he's fucking. It's pretty public. He's doing it to give us all the finger. Now I don't know what the Russians are saying. I know that the Russian patriarch was pissed off, but I don't know what Putin is saying because Putin's in a weird position too.
I don't think he's in a very weird position. I think
I don't think he cares.
I think his position is very well known, especially. But I was going to get to that. But see, the issue right here is that all these things that have been happening in the last couple of years, they obviously, they will directly affect the region's geopolitical stability. And this is not the first time, right? I mean, we act surprised when Turkey makes these sort of decisions, but Turkey has been provoking. The country, especially Greece, in the region for years, right? And they, unfortunately, and for some reason which I still question, they go unnoticed, right? I mean, nobody steps up to denounce these things, and they're consistently in violation of Greece's maritime and airspaces. The stance it took in the Syrian conflict, where we've seen the ill treatment of Syrian refugees, the occupation of Syrian territory,
The Kurds.
which fueled relations with Russia. Yeah, exactly. Its stance with the Kurdish people, illegal drilling in Cyprus's maritime zone, like you said before, the illegal accord with Libya. On the creation of a maritime corridor that also violates Greece's and Cyprus's maritime zones. Its attempts to militarize and flood Europe with illegal migrants through the Greek border. And now, obviously, this decision to convert Hagia Sophia to a mosque.
Oh, another one from 2 weeks ago when the Albanian border with Greece. There's border cities that are Greek, right? Border villages and towns, and so there's a lot of racist stuff happening against those Greeks that are living there now. A lot of crime. So Erdogan made a little agreement with them to send. What are we going to call them? Jihadis that were in Syria, right? ISIS members that he has now in Turkey.
It's basically
to send them there
inhabit the area.
to inhabit the area, to populate them. And his thing was, we'll get rid of the Greeks. We're going to put fucking jihadis there, and we'll fight. Which is, and no one says anything. That is a fucking
But
crazy
that's like
thing.
a tried and tested fucking method it's existed for thousands of years within history. The Byzantines did it with the Christian Albanians. The Ottomans did it with Muslim Albanians. Actually, most people do it with Albanians. Now that I think about it, that's you take your own people, you plant them there. Look at Israel.
Look,
Can I say that? Am I gonna fucking in trouble?
No, we don't care. You can say whatever the fuck you want. Like you
Just
look at.
saying, there's lines that I'm nervous about.
Yeah.
Are you nervous about the Israeli lines? What are you on the Gaza Strip?
Israeli lines
What are you
make me
nervous about?
I'm people get mad. They just yell anti-Semitism whenever you question what the Israeli government has done in the past. Like,
Oh no, that's
it's
crazy
weird.
because from what I know, even like it depends who you speak to. Like a lot of people, Jewish people, aren't okay with like the Israeli government.
Yes, there are anti-Israel, like anti-Zionists, right?
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying get rid of.
But that's not even what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying they literally picked up the Jewish population and brought a bunch of them to Israel and said, we finally have a country. We all live here now. And when Palestinians were like, but we live here, they're like, shut the fuck up. Look, we're already here.
Well, that's not entirely true either. That's not entirely true
It's
either.
partially
because the Palestinian
true. Yes,
country
it's an
didn't exist.
oversimplification.
Yeah.
Yo, I have to jump on a call. It's from our new studio construction team.
Oh,
I
nice.
gotta
Go.
take it.
Go take care of that.
I will be right back.
Mute.
Please enjoy alternate fill while I'm gone.
Nice. So yeah, George.
You know, just to get back to what we're saying, and to what you were saying, Pantelis. Despite all these facts, I'm always surprised by the lack of sanctions. From the international community.
Yeah.
I just wish that the political leaders out there would turn a more careful eye, on the rapidly deteriorating state of affairs in that part of the world, and perhaps countries like Canada, like you said, and Germany could stop their military transactions, or perhaps to start questioning if a country like Turkey, that is arguably becoming another Islamist state, should have a place in the NATO alliance, for example, or should the EU maintain bilateral trade agreements with a country that actively tried to invade its territory?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
And look, nobody disputes the fact that Turkey's position is obviously a very important position, which is why they've always been considered an international partner. Also, the fact that it's one of the biggest Muslim democracies, right? So the fact
democracy
that
is used loosely here.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, we're not going to look at it now, but in in previous years or previous decades, the whole point of having Turkey involved, in all these partnerships, whether it's NATO or whether it's bilateral agreements with Europe or any other stuff like that, was to demonstrate the potential that any Muslim state can have if they adopt Western democratic principles. And obviously, all that is put to question now, right? I mean, like you said before, I'm not sure exactly where they're taking the country. It's obviously dangerous. Russia is obviously looking very closely to the situation as well.
I don't trust the Russians either.
What I miss? The Russians are at it again.
I don't trust the Russians with Turkey either. Like, I know Russia does want some revenge for Turkey killing the soldiers in Syria, but I don't trust Putin enough to be like, oh, don't worry, Putin will save us. I don't trust his. I don't trust any of these fucking leaders. And does Putin really want to go to war with Turkey? I doubt it. Does anybody want to go to war? I don't want to go to war with Turkey. I don't want people to die.
War. I don't think anyone wants to go to war, especially in that region. The repercussions of bringing Turkey into an armed conflict would be disastrous. I mean, imagine
for everyone.
But imagine just the NATO alliance, right? I mean, that's gone to shit.
It's already gone to shit.
Union relations down the tubes, but
but all that stuff is already happening, just that no one's admitting it. I think Dave Mustaine said it the best, right?
Who?
Dave Mustaine, singer of Megadeth. Yeah. The United Nations, the UN. Their name is perfect. They can't get any more than they are right now. That's what they are. It's the United Abominations. They can't get any more They're not doing anything. They're not uniting. They're doing the complete opposite. They're basically bullying countries. They're helping the bullies. They're being shitty. And then they go out and they try to dictate morally how you should act. That's all the UN is doing. That when they decide, we got to help women around the world, so we need a council on women's rights. And who's going to run that council? Saudi Arabians, for sure. These dudes, they know all about how to treat ladies. It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense, and people don't want to call them out. Anytime you talk about the UN, they think that you're some kind of conspiracy theorist or whatever. But I'm talking about facts. What they do factually is garbage. The blue helmets, all those sex scandals when they were sex trafficking people, they're out there raping. Nobody wants to talk about the fucking UN blue helmets. Get the fuck out of here, bro. The UN, the European Union, they're all fucking scumbags.
Yeah, they've lost a lot of credibility over the last decades, and we spoke about that in previous episodes.
You got a little corona, George? What's going on?
Just a little bit, just a tad.
A bit, Just a touch of the COVID.
I felt it after I met you guys at the studio. I'm not sure.
Shit.
I probably shouldn't have fucking licked you. I'm sorry.
Poseidon sucked him off.
No.
So what's gonna happen? They're just gonna keep provoking us, basically, Turkey.
Till there's a war.
I think they have, and I think they will. And
they don't give a shit.
I think since the ball is rolling, why would they stop, right? Yeah. I mean,
maybe Greece should provoke them, or another Balkan country. Just do something crazy, like tear down Ataturk's house in Salonika. It fell.
Well, you know what's gonna end up. Happening.
I've been reading articles. People suggesting to turn that into a museum instead of
genocide
museum.
No, but they want to turn it
fucking amazing. A genocide museum.
The Greeks were like,
that's a genocide museum.
That's amazing.
The Greeks were like, all right, because for those of you who don't know, the father of modern Turkey, Kemal Ataturk.
Ataturk.
His house was in Thessaloniki, Greece.
He was born on Greek soil.
Of course, so were all Turks, because all that is Greek soil.
Part of the Ottoman Empire.
It wasn't part. He was born in the late 1800s. Greece was already independent.
What are you talking about? The north of Greece was still occupied till like the late 1800s. He was born in Selanik. Like it was still called by its Ottoman name.
No.
Oh,
When was
well,
the Macedonian
Yeah.
Wars?
What I'm trying to tell you, Phil, is that all that is Greek. So unless they're born in Mongolia, the Turks are still being born on Greek soil right now, whatever the fuck we want to call it. Anyways, so yeah, his house, the father of modern Turkey, is in Greece right now, right? It's in Thessaloniki. So, and they treat it as far as I understand, as a museum. It's a historical site. This is where a piece of garbage was born. So, but what they're saying now is, okay, you want to fuck with us? You want to provoke us with our biggest cathedral? Okay, we'll do the same. So they're saying, why don't you turn it into a genocide museum? Because the Turkish government does not like to admit to genocide. That would be a nice provoking matter, because I don't think fighting or setting stuff on fire, I don't think that's going to help anything. But to fuck around like that, why not?
But you know the worst part is for me.
Honestly, I don't think there's any point to escalate this. I mean, there's different channels that you can that you can go through. And
The
look,
system has failed, George. They're not following treaties. There are no channels to escalate this.
Yeah, but see, at the same time, when you're putting everything down on a list, you're like, okay, so this is another violation, like at some point, these things are gonna turn into your favor, right? I mean, at least
it doesn't seem
What
like
a what a government opinion. That's such you were in the government for too long. We're gonna make a list and we're gonna pink slip them every time. We're gonna accumulate it. We're gonna send it to the union and they're gonna get fired. No more stamping.
George, just like what you said earlier about Trudeau, no matter how much illegal shit is happening, he's still gonna be guilty. He's still prime minister. It's the same thing. So people will come out and be like, Turkey, that is a bad move, Erdogan. That is illegal. So what's gonna happen? Oh, nothing. He can continue. But we told him publicly. You saw we told him we don't appreciate it.
Fire. So what are you suggesting? Fight fire with fire and blow shit up in that?
No. What I'm suggesting is that I'm suggesting that NATO does its fucking job. I'm suggesting that the UN does its fucking job and sanctions immediately. Oh, you want to fuck around like that? No trade. Trade is done. You guys, right now, you're blocked off. You want to be part of the civilized world? We're not going to treat you like you're part of the civilized world. Same thing. The second you invade European, airspace, the second you invade European, you get shot down.
Everybody stop. Pantelis, you go.
Yeah, the second you invade European airspace, the Europeans take down your fucking fighter jets. You have no right to do that. You know that's what. So then he would stop. Be like, "Whoa, hold on a second. Now I'm gonna get shot at. I'm not gonna get trade. My people are gonna go starving. I gotta think about this." But now he has nothing to think about. He does whatever he wants. He goes and takes over fucking northern Syria. He's killing people. He's fucking provoking Greece. He's trying to steal islands, and no one says anything. So of course he's gonna continue. You have to fucking be hard.
Yeah. Honestly, I really don't think he cares. Even if the EU would come out with a harder stance, he still doesn't care, because his goal is to just get his people on his side. His people. Exactly what
if his people are hungry and poor, they will not be on his side.
That's true.
That is
true. Can I add something?
Yeah.
You said what are you gonna do? Fight fire with fire. The thing is, if Greece is a small country, it's a backwater, really.
It's not a backwater.
No one cares. It's almost a backwater based on the size of its economy. Right?
I think Phil found out about his roots. They might be in Albania and Turkey or something, because every time he gets a chance, he's always shitting. Turkey said nothing wrong about them, but Greece, he referred to them as a backwater country.
Compared to Turkey, yes, we're a much smaller nation, and
compared to almost all of the Mediterranean, they're a much smaller economy, so they have a lot less.
Yeah, but they're not backwater, Phil. These are not peasants.
Fine, I won't. Well, some people are peasants. They're farmers. Some people are peasants. That makes it a backwater. It has two cities, guys. Anyways. My point is, if they were...
There are no farmers in Canada or in the U.S.
There are. Of course there are. They live in the backwaters. Shut up. If they were to do the Genocide Museum, it would piss off Turkey, which would bring Turkey to the UN's table. And they'd be like, we want them to fucking undo this, and then that gives you negotiating power. Maybe that is a right step.
Or they won't even undo it. They'll just be like, yo, we're sending in the troops.
But
they don't care. Look, guys, Greece has already recognized the Turkish genocide. What happened?
Yeah, but turning the father of modern Turkey's home into a genocide museum.
Yeah, that's a symbol. Yeah,
they'd start burning the borders.
I don't know.
Just saying.
I'm just saying.
I don't know if that's a smart thing.
You know what
I'm always in favor of dialogue. Obviously, the guy clearly doesn't give a shit about it.
Yeah.
But at some point, something's got to give. You know.
Well, the channels have clearly failed, George. Your whole politics has failed. It's all bullshit. Even here in Canada, like we were talking about Trudeau before, it's not, nothing's happening. It's all lip service. It's all telling the people, we caught him doing something illegal, and then they never get treated like a regular person doing something illegal. If Poseidon was caught in 1% of those scandals, he'd be finished. He'd be locked up.
Yeah.
which is probably better for society. But Trudeau does that stuff more so, and nothing happens to him. So it's all. This is why people are going to revolt, and shit like this is going to ruin a good thing. We had a good thing going. We made it to the 21st century. We got good technology, and we're going to fuck it all up. We're going to fuck it all up because of these stupid crybabies that took over countries.
Fucking Justin, he needs a new title. Like Emperor, he's been guilty 3 times, still prime minister. Or like we'll call him like Imperator Canadium or something. Justinian, the 7th or whatever. That's what he is at this point.
Yeah. George, you have direct channels to Trudeau. You ever tell him to go fuck himself?
No.
Okay.
No.
He would get a text from me daily.
Hey, Justin, it's P. Fuck off.
I communicate almost daily with a bunch of his staffers, but
How do they feel? Are they like, are they drinking the Kool-Aid? Are they like, we're allowed to do whatever we want, man? We're in charge now.
Man. I don't know. I've invited them on my podcast. There was one guy that we had the date set and everything, and then because of coronavirus, he had stepped down. He had resigned. He was moving on to other things. And I'm like, perfect. You don't work anymore at the PMO. Come over to the podcast. We'll have a nice little discussion.
Let's talk shit about them.
No, not necessarily talk shit. It's just as information. How is it working at PMO?
I love how you were stuttering.
And in there, you kind of slip in, a few things that went sideways, right? Like, how did that happen, But the coronavirus happened, and they called him back to go help, and the guy did. So who knows?
What a fucking patriot.
Yeah.
How did he help?
Because it happened just then. Like, he literally resigned, like 1 or 2 days before everything closed up, right? So,
George, do you ever plan to go back
to politics?
I don't know.
Like, we won't hold you to whatever you say. I'm just curious. You ever thought about it?
I don't know. Look, I'm the kind of guy that never says never. But at this point, if you were to ask me like now, the answer is no. Like, I've gotten used to the life that I have now. I've rediscovered my family. There's people that love me. I have a family. So you find your life again, and you do other things, and I don't know. But obviously, the fact that I worked there for so long, I mean, I'm still very much attached to everything happening. It's part of me, I think, right? And I think it's the same for everyone. Like, imagine you tomorrow not doing anything related to videography or photography or anything. You do something completely different. It's still in you, right?
Find me hanging from a fucking bridge. I'd kill myself.
Well, maybe not. I hope not. But
I hope his family's watching right now. Like, what the fuck? I thought we were the reason for him to live.
So
it's that new Canon camera.
It's kind of hovering. It's kind of hovering around, right? It's always there. So, but at this point, like right now, no. I like where I am. I'm relaxed. And
would you join me if I start my own political party?
Santerizo's 2030.
Definitely not.
You wouldn't join my party? You know what happened when I win? I will crush you, George. I will put you in prison, in military prison, and they'll be like, "Why is he in jail? Because he offended the prince."
Military? I thought you were getting elected. Now you have a junta.
It's a coup. It's a coup, Phil.
Oh, it's a coup. Cool.
It's a coup.
He forgot to do elected.
It's a coup, and the party's gonna just be called Cool, and then whoever's like curious about it and be like, the L is silent.
The second any politician does this, that's a dictatorship. The second there's a fist involved.
Yeah.
If it's this way, that's different. But if it's this way,
what do you mean? That same way, all the fists are an issue.
This way can also be black power, right?
Yeah, which is still an issue. Any power, white power, black power, you don't want stuff like that. You want peaceful stuff.
No, this could also be like, yay!
Yeah, we won.
Or it could be people who are obsessed with weightlifting also.
Like single weights, Ugh.
Yeah,
I don't know. Whatever.
If you're a politician, you got to try and avoid the color powers. You got to be like, all right, everybody, calm your fucking tits.
Don't wave like this.
Yeah. Basically, report to the government if someone is being an asshole, right? But don't become an asshole yourself. You just, underscore coup. It's all people with conspiracy theories. Yeah, everyone's just different conspiracy theories that are coming out. Like Poseidon's Wayfarer thing.
Seeing, now that I'm in the Discord, I can't. I had to turn off the notifications. There's so much chaos in there.
Yeah, the Discord.
Lobby strong. I'm like, what is happening?
Bro, the lobby's very strong these days.
It's like Poseidon has his own little.
He has an army.
Like a fucking ecosystem. It's nuts.
But you know what's funny is that the lobby becomes stronger whenever crazy news comes out. Like when Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested, That was a big
Yeah.
lobby move. But now with the Wayfair thing yesterday, I think now the lobby's just getting more and more fuel. But the Wayfair thing, I thought was the dumbest conspiracy ever.
It's pretty stretched out.
Until the representative came out, I was like, oh, God damn it, he just ruined it. Now I think it's real. What
did he say?
Because basically they asked him, they go, so this must be like a weird issue. These randomly named cupboards and also a pillow is like $40, but if there's a custom name on it, it's $10,000. So it must just be a mistake on the site. And what does he say? No, these are just items that are at the price that they're supposed to be on the website. It's all on the up and up. And I was like, wait a second, hold on a second, bro. $10,000 for a $40 pillow with a name on it. Like, why did you say that? Why did you say? Why didn't you just fucking say no? There's a wrong
Wayfair
price.
is a strange company,
that name is the same name of a missing child.
So yeah, the second you put a missing child name of that
Maybe
week or whatever,
maybe their website gets populated by like some kind of weird AI.
algorithm. I don't know. All I know is that he should not have said that. He should just said, yeah, there's
And
a fucking
the
mistake
AI
on the
hates
site.
humanity.
There's a mistake on the site. Just calm the fuck down, you dummies. Right? That's what he should have said.
Yeah, it's a fucking error in the code. We'll
Yeah,
fix
that's
it.
all he should have said. But the second he's like, no, that's how much a $40 pillow should cost.
But their
$10,000.
prices are all over the place. Like sometimes I had bought a toy chest for my daughter and it was like 80% off. I'm like 80% off to $100. Like that's a great deal. And then I comes in and I see on Canadian Tire's website they're selling the same one for $42.99. So I'm like, so I call them and I go, hey, this is bullshit. You guys are clearly lying. You're just hiking up prices. They're like, no, that's the best price.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. It was super damaged. Here's a photo of it damaged. They're like, okay, we'll refund you the whole thing. Like,
I feel like you thought there was
Just
gonna
what a
be
weird
there was gonna be a
business
moral to that story, and it never came. You
No, I'm
realize
just saying
halfway
it's
through.
such a strange business model because they're lying about their pricing, and the second you complain about anything, there's no recourse. Like they don't follow up. They're just like, yeah, here's all your money back. We don't need it.
And according to Poseidon,
That's
they're also
very suspicious.
trafficking young children. So Poseidon, has that conspiracy died now, or is it still strong?
Oh no, it's still very strong, and they found other proof on Amazon, and it's always cabinets.
Am I the only
and
one
it's
seeing
always-
Poseidon's face fucked up?
What do you mean, like blown out in the center?
Yeah, like I keep seeing him like pixelated.
It's
Just
'cause
him.
You have a ring light or a flat panel in front of you?
Both.
You have two lights on in front of you.
No, it's not
Green
lights.
light.
It's like his
There's
face.
too many
is-
lights.
It looks like special effects in like a 1970s movie where he's changing into someone else. Like look at the live feed on YouTube. You're gonna see what I'm talking about. It looks like the government is trying to eliminate him.
It's because his face is overexposed and the ones and zeros are becoming fucking chaos.
Oh my god, yo! I was watching the Terminator last night, but I guess I'll get to that in a second because
Yeah, wait till George finishes telling us serious. Do you have anything else to tell us, George?
That's it, guys. That's the only news I have.
what do you
Yeah,
sound
he's
so
just been
sad?
waiting for us to shut up. Like, fuck, I gotta go.
Wait, what? Somebody wrote. What about the Safia Nolan conspiracy? I don't know. I don't know who that is.
It's not. I don't think it's a. I don't think it's a conspiracy.
that?
Safia Nolan is a singer. She's a lesbian here in Quebec.
Is that the
and,
conspiracy?
She's a lesbian here in Quebec.
No. She's
That's the
been mixed up in
conspiracy.
a bunch of things in the past, and what came out a couple days ago, there's this Quebec personality, Marie-Pierre Morin,
Yeah.
that apparently.
Never heard that before.
Yeah, she's a very popular person. I mean, she came through. She came out of this, one of those programs. I think Occupation Double or whatever it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
those TV reality shows there.
At TV reality, she became very popular, very charismatic girl. She climbed up the ladder really quickly, like all these sponsorship deals and all that stuff.
Okay.
And
for
Safia
her.
Nolan came out a couple days ago and said that, you know what, I'm done with this shit. The media is protecting her. She's like the little shoo. And she goes, 2 years ago, we ran into each other at some event. I'm not sure exactly what event
And
it
we
was. And
fucked.
she came up to me and told me, I heard that your ex-girlfriend looked like me. Does that mean that you have a crush on me? And then apparently she bit her thigh.
What? Like aggressively?
Sorry,
Like sexually?
Yeah,
or
What? She bit her thigh?
yeah, and I'm like, what?
How did she get access to her thigh?
that's a weird
I-
MMA technique.
How do you
This-
bite your thigh?
I don't know. This is
Well,
what she said.
not her own thigh, Dad. She bit the other chick's thigh.
Oh.
So
She didn't yell at a girl and then bite her own thigh, you fucking dummy.
Marie-Pierre-
It's not like when you argue with your dad and you try to suck your own dick. It's a different.
So So I don't know if it was confusing the way I said it, but Marie-Pierre Morin went up to her and said, I heard that your ex-girlfriend looked like me. Someone told me. So does that mean that you have a crush on me? And then I don't know if it was at the same time or during that same, event at some point, Marie-Pierre Morin bit her thigh or something like that. So this is what Safia Nolin claims. She came out, it was a sexual assault, blah, blah, blah. And then we have to denounce it. And, I'm a victim. And, this whole thing started up again. And Marie-Pierre Morin, obviously, she stepped back from everything that she's been doing. All her sponsorship deals, all the endorsements, they pulled out. She lost. She lost. I think she had an endorsement with Bell. I don't know, some Good Foods, or I don't know, a bunch of companies.
She's fucked basically because she apparently bit some woman's thigh in public.
She's done. And you know what sucks in this situation is that
I don't know any of these people, and I could care less.
If it's true, it's fine. I mean, I think that we should be denouncing these things, but we live in a system where there's institutions in place that are there for this reason. I mean, if you have something to say, go to the cops, file a complaint, or do it privately. Call her up. It's been 2 years now. Say, listen, back then I didn't appreciate it. Clear it up between you. Or if you don't do that, I mean, follow the procedure, man.
Yeah,
file a
this
complaint
reeks.
with the police.
It reeks of revenge porn bullshit stuff.
Is this the woman? You guys can't see it because it's not an auto exposure. Like, I googled who Safia Nolin is, and this is the woman who's been accused of fuck.
Does she look like a biter?
Safia Nolin is the accuser or the biter?
No, the accuser.
There's no way anyone bit this woman's thigh.
Disgusting.
I'm not saying anything else.
Okay, so she's disgusting.
I found a photo of her picking her own nose. It's like a profile pic.
Basically, Marie-Pierre Morin, I don't know if you guys know, she was what's his name, Prost, the Canadians player.
Yeah, aren't they divorced though?
Yeah, they were dating.
They were married.
Yeah, were they married? Yeah.
Well, I just saw it. I don't actually fucking know because I don't follow, but I saw it when I was looking into it now.
So the frustrating thing in this situation is that, there's reputations on the line over here. You're coming out publicly. You're both public figures.
Yeah.
You take it to social media to bash the girl, and maybe she did, and maybe she deserves whatever consequences. Or I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that why don't you just follow the right procedures and not ruin reputations? Because what if
they're just canceling each other now? That's it.
What if it's all false? No, because this girl's career is finished now. Like, she's done. And I was talking with my wife.
I'm gonna resurrect her career. I'm inviting her to the French podcast.
Do it. Le French cast.
Yeah, I heard you like to bite thighs.
How can you build up again from this? You know what I mean? Why don't you? Why can't we just pretend? And there was an article in the Journal de Montréal that came out yesterday, apparently, and that said that Marie-Pierre Morin should sue her for defamation, even if what is that?
Phil's sending us stuff. He doesn't respect the process. But go on.
So even if the accusations are correct, it could still be considered defamation to come out and just say it. So I don't know. Yeah.
Wait. She's the one who got her thigh bitten.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No self-respecting lesbians biting that thigh. Okay.
I mean, I don't know what a lesbian would be attracted to, right? I can't speak for their
I'm speaking on behalf of human beings.
Where's the picture?
He just wants to see it.
It's in the chat.
Honestly, Poseidon, it looks like you with glasses.
What chat?
In the Skype chat,
Skype,
there's no way you're this stupid, bro.
I don't see it. Not there.
Yeah, it is there. It's there.
It was happy birthday, Poseidon. You're 1 year older and no years wiser.
There's a chat.
I literally just clicked on open conversation and it's not there.
It's a link.
It's a link. It's literally a link. You see on the bottom where it says open conversation?
God, if I try to get my mom
you
to
click
buy
on it, you
something
don't see
online
redirect notice. There's a link.
Yeah.
The last thing, Phil.
I open the conversation. There's no. The last thing that says is missed call from Pantelis. That's it.
Okay,
Look,
he's not looking at. He's not looking at the right chat. He's looking at another one, and I'm gonna fucking throw my shit across the fucking wall.
Well, which one you want me to look at, bro? I'm looking at the chat of this.
You're clearly not, because it's on the chat of this.
Poseidon.
Like, we're all on. It's one chat that we're all on.
And who cares? That's the story.
Yeah, it's chaos.
Just Google her name. What's her name?
Safia Nolin.
Yeah, it's you, Poseidon, beardless with glasses.
Effectively, yeah.
Yeah. She got that thigh bit.
Ew.
Oh, you found it.
Ew,
Okay.
that does not look like me, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, it does.
That's
Put your finger in your
disgusting.
nose.
What is
Put
that
your finger
thing?
in your nose for a second.
No.
George, I think we've
I'm way
degenerated
more
this
prettier, bro.
You're way more prettier, yes, bro.
Yeah.
In the chat, they're well. Julie Pascal's mad because she goes, "What does it matter if she's ugly?" The other one admitted to it. Yeah. She.
Oh, she admitted to it?
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Oh, I retract that. I had no idea. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure if she admitted. I'm not sure if she admitted it, unless this is new. She just said that I'm sorry if my actions hurt you. Blah blah blah.
That's
Now, we
pretty
don't know
much
what
admitting it.
No, you don't know that. You don't know. We don't know. She, the words are important here. So she goes, "I'm sorry if I hurt you in any way." Blah blah blah. Maybe.
But I did not bite you.
I don't know. I don't know.
Safia Sidon. The chat.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, she's. I don't know. I don't know if she got. I don't give a fuck. I don't even know these people.
Yeah, seriously.
But it seems like a weird thing to bite her in the thigh. Like, isn't that like? Can't you get hurt? Would you drop on her knees? Like, I don't understand. This whole thing sounds
did she
stupid.
throw her down? It's very weird.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. Honestly, I don't care.
George doesn't care. He's like, I gotta go. My wife's at the door. The kids are crying.
No. But I think if she says, hey, you bit me in the thigh, and she goes, look, I'm very sorry that I hurt you. I think that's admitting that you bit her in the thigh, no, or whatever. Because if I accuse you of something and then you apologize about that thing, and you're like, look, I'm very sorry that hurt you, then aren't you saying that should happen?
Because there's different elements in what like first there's what she said about the ex-girlfriend and do you find me hot, and there's this whole issue of her potentially coming on to her.
That's
And
allowed.
That's allowed.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe the other one took offense. Maybe she thought I don't
Wait,
know.
are neither of these two lesbians? Are they hitting on each other and none of them are gay?
They're not lesbian. Like I don't think Marie-Pierre Morin is lesbian. She was married. She has a boyfriend. I don't know what the hell happened. That's the whole confusing thing to me. Maybe she likes her. I don't know. You know, I don't know people's sexual orientation.
I heard you like chicks that look like me. Oh, I'm not gay. Neither am I. Wait, what?
I don't know. This is very fucking weird. And
This is
radical.
so
I lost
stupid.
interest in this completely.
We need another world war, bro. This
Oh,
is
Julie Pascal says she admitted biting her, and she admitted that she told her she'd like to put her in a cage to feed her.
What the fuck? Maybe this is a great story. I don't know.
So she insulted the way she looks. Also, what the fuck?
Yeah,
She's a lesbian
I
only in
did.
Quebec. Okay, cool.
No, Safia Nolin is lesbian. She's
No, I'm just reading the chat. They're trying to clear this up for us because thank God we have some like French Canadians in the chat.
Yeah, they know what's going on. But Julie Pascal says that she admitted to saying, "I want to put you in a cage and feed her." That's mean.
No, there's that whole subculture, like eaters and feeders.
What's that?
Poseidon, tell us about it.
I don't know nothing about that culture, bro.
I don't know nothing about that culture. I don't know nothing about the English language.
This is like the most retarded stream ever.
It is a great story now. Now the plot thickens.
Like a chunky bat soup.
Yeah, but that's just weird that's weird to all of this is weird now. Are you biting her thigh? You're calling her fat? You're like, what do you want? Like, I understand. Does she like her or not?
It's weird. We don't get like because we're Anglophones in Quebec. We don't even know that this shit's going on. It's all happening east of Saint Laurent, I guess.
Yeah, because she basically tells her like, I heard you find chicks like me hot. Like she's hitting on her. She bites her thigh, but then she also says, "You're a fucking animal. I want to put you in a goddamn cage." So which is it? Which is it, lady?
I mean, the two aren't mutually exclusive. The statements.
Talk
George. We know. We see you. You want to leave. I feel it.
No. No, it's just that this whole story has, like for me, okay, we know what happened, but it's not really a story. I mean, can we wait? I don't know. Are you going to sue her? Are you going to go to court? Well, what's going to happen? Can we? I don't know. I'm just.
Are you saying wait before canceling?
Sorry.
Are you saying wait before canceling? Because you are correct. Because even Johnny Depp, remember Johnny Depp was viewed as a villain this whole time, and then it turns out that Amber Heard was the one actually beating him up, and she took a shit in the bed.
Yeah, I mean, these things, they come out and they ruin reputations. And I mean, if you're Johnny Depp, you're probably immune to all this shit. You don't care, I mean, but random people's lives over here are at stake, and you're just throwing accusations or allegations out in the open, and maybe they're right.
But she
And if they
admitted
are-
to it. Like, that's what I'm saying, is they're allegations until you're like, no, I totally did that. Like, so she, you know what? At least, I don't know these people, but good for her for saying, yeah, I fucking said I was going to put this bitch in a cage or whatever the fuck. Good for her for admitting it. But now, the way society is, like, they're going to make the decision for you. Like, your reps, any company that sponsors you, they're going to make it, because now it used to be like offensive language would bother people, and now it looks like it turned into if someone has a complaint against you, and hopefully it's only if it's sexual or stuff like that. It's not like he's mean, so and now that's like the line. Companies don't want to deal with that. So the second
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, the second there's no, Dave Chappelle never sexually abused anyone. The
I
second,
just mean Dave Chappelle can survive anything. That's my theory.
he wouldn't be able to survive if he raped someone, dude. No one.
I don't think he would, obviously.
Yeah, but I'm just saying right now it's that. So if it comes out that you're like some kind of a weirdo sexual predator or shit like that, you get canceled real quick. And
I guess that makes sense.
but I do agree with you that proof should obviously come out. It shouldn't be just allegations, because like on Twitter every day there's a new person who alleges someone of something, and then you find out weeks later it's not true. But by the time that happened, a lot of those people's careers have already been stained.
Done.
Look at Chris D'Elia. Chris D'Elia, when he came out with the receipts, nobody retracted their stories. Nobody updated the stories. It's just out there. It's still out there, as if he didn't come back with the full email threads and all that. Like the girl who started it. Remember her? She omitted a lot of emails, mainly the ones asking, telling him that she was young. I think she was 18. She wanted to bang him, and he stopped replying to her. He didn't want to do anything. And then she reached out to him again when she was 21, and she said he was grooming her by not talking to her for years. He was grooming her, like weird shit, because she was omitting the emails. But no one's talking about that stuff, So to everyone, he's a predator. He's a this, he's a that. He's clearly a fuckboy, but
Yeah.
Look,
Here's what Chris D'Elia should do. He should file defamation lawsuits. That's what Justin Bieber did. He had $20 million, a defamation lawsuit for $20 million.
Why? What happened?
Some girls that accused him of sexual assault.
He's like, I never had sex with a girl.
No, but the other example here in Canada is Gian Gomeshi. I don't know if you guys remember him. He was a radio TV personality, whatever. He had a weird fetish.
Yeah, he was a piece of garbage in real life too, apparently. But everything
I
that
don't know about that, but I mean the guy's innocent, right? I mean, regardless, I don't know what he did, and if there were things that I would do, but
yeah, there were some weird choking stuff, right?
Yeah, there was some weird shit going on there. But at the end of the day, the guy was innocent, and look, where's his career? Nobody's gonna hire this guy again.
No, his career went down to. They still refer to him as a sexual predator or whatever the fuck.
I need to check on the contractors. They're calling me again.
Nice.
Making that studio nice. And again, once again, George, if you leave before I come back, I send you kisses.
All right.
And,
Love you, G.
Enjoy other Phil for a few seconds.
Okay, give us fake Phil. There we go. So, George, did you hear about Will Smith's wife Jada cheated on him with some guy with a weird name, August Alsina?
August Alsina.
This is now? Recently?
I think it happened a while back. It's a weird thing. Like August came out. August, I keep calling him August. That's his name, I guess.
I keep getting confused with the story. I keep seeing different things.
Yeah, because he came out and talked about it, and he goes, "Yeah, he was the mistress basically, but Jada knew. Basically, Will Smith knew like they were banging with Will Smith's blessing, and then people came out and started calling Will Smith a pussy and a cuck for allowing that, and then now they're coming out like, no, he's lying. Jada says we were on a break. I did it, and Will didn't know. But I think they had said something conflicting before that he did know. So now it's all fucked up, and the guy's like, I'm telling you my truth. My truth is, he goes that they knew I did it with his blessing. Like I was banging his wife with his blessing. So now people are like weirded out with Will Smith. They're like, all right, bro, now you're getting fucking like you're doing all kinds of weird shit.
But
like,
don't those two have like this weird open marriage?
They have a relationship that's different than most. So like I don't know how. First of all, what the fuck do we care? This is the other thing that bothers me. So this seems like a real personal thing. This is like about them. They didn't put public people in danger. They didn't fuck any kids or whatever. So why are we even aware of this? Is what bothers. Like I don't care about the personal. Do you see what I'm saying? Like no one was abused.
Because there's a huge gossip industry, man, in the U.S. and they make tons of money with this shit. You know what I mean?
It's crazy that you have to answer to that. That's what bothers me. It's like, do you have any comment? Yeah, my comment is fuck off. It's my business. Like if you find out that she, I don't know, molested a kid or he was okay, it's a different story. That's a public thing. These are public figures that were doing some kind of bad stuff. Kind of like now this girl. The only reason why we're talking about her is because she was abused, right? She got bit or whatever the fuck. She was insulted.
Yeah.
So that's why it became a story, let's say. But if it's just a couple cheating on doing it, it's none of our fucking business. But I don't give a shit. Especially whether Will Smith said, "Yeah, bang my wife" or whatever. Yeah, it's fucking weird. But I'm not married to his wife. It's not up to me to decide for him. I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you want. Like. It's none of my fucking business. So anyways, I don't like that shit. Like you could judge him. You could be like, yo, I think this guy's a fucking idiot, or I like him, or whatever the fuck you want. But the fact that it's in the media and people are answering questions about it, to me, is crazy, dude. It's crazy. Like, that's a personal matter. It has nothing to do with anything.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what to say. And I agree with you 100%. I mean, it's none of our business, but, there are people that it is their business to gossip. I mean, look at TMZ.
Yeah, TMZ's a bitch.
You know what I mean? They've made millions of dollars just minding other people's lives and businesses. Yeah, I mean,
but they also, TMZ also broke a lot of important stories. TMZ are the first people that broke the Kobe Bryant plane crash, the helicopter crash. Sorry, TMZ breaks a lot of stories because they're everywhere. But you're right. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense. Like, we saw you in the parking lot of this restaurant, and in there was also this person that you're suspected of cheating with. Were you banging her? Like, it's like, okay, fuck off at this point, No, that's what they do. They corner you at the airport. Like, whenever you're tired, they corner you to ask you questions, so you say something stupid, so they have a soundbite. Yeah. Oh, there's Phil's back. All right, George, so you got work to do?
Yeah, I gotta run.
All right, so George Hadrizos with the morning report here. So the Backstage podcast, weekly episodes are up on George's website. The links are in the description. Go there, click on it, subscribe, and show George that you appreciate his work. Thank you, G.
All right, guys.
Later, GZ.
Ciao.
G-Easy.
Bye.
Peace.
All right, Poseidon. So yesterday, this is what I wanted to talk about. I was watching last night the Terminator, the original one, the first one. Right, because only the first two Terminator movies are good movies. Then they fucked up the whole story, but the first two are interesting. And I realized, cause I was like, why does it look so? There's something off about him. But there's a scene where the Terminator Schwarzenegger, like, he runs through a fire, like midway through the movie. So what happens is, and it took me a while to notice, I never realized, he singes off his eyebrows. So now he's eyebrowless. That's why his face was always looking weird to me, because he always looks shocked. He always looks surprised. But the reason is because he has no eyebrows. So he just looks surprised all the time. And I was like, this is a funny fucking meme that I haven't really seen people make. Just surprise Schwarzenegger. Because no matter what happens, he always looks surprised. That's why he had to put the sunglasses on, because he has no more eyebrows. And I never realized it.
He actually singed his eyebrows in real life?
No, probably not. I mean, maybe he did. I don't know how committed he was to that role. But in the scene,
he ran through an actual fire.
No, they probably just shaved them off, or it's just makeup. But him without eyebrows, you know what happens when you don't have eyebrows? You just look surprised all the time. So it looks fucking hilarious. And also the graphics too. Like, there's a lot of stuff that hasn't aged too well, but it's still a good movie. Like story wise, and everything. It's such a good concept. I love time travel. Yeah.
Is my mic on?
Your mic is on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You said classic, but so the time travel thing is one thing. So this is the other thing I was thinking of. So we have all these movies that warn you about artificial intelligence and the dangers of actually making machines too smart, right? The second they realize that they're smarter than us, we're fucked. So we know the dangers.
Isn't that what it's called?
Singularity, yeah. Once we reach singularity, when they realize they're self-aware.
They're sentient.
Yeah, they're sentient beings. We're all fucked. Now, we know this. We know it's an eventuality. There's fiction written about it. Leading scientists have spoken out about it. Even Elon Musk said, it's kind of risky the second that happens. You know what I mean? Everyone who's in those fields says this continual progression of automation, we're going to wipe out humanity, basically. That's all we're doing. We're setting up to fuck ourselves over. But we still keep going forward. We're still automating everything. We're still letting the computers learn from us, listen to everything we say, adapt, grow, quicker, smarter. Like, we're pushing towards Skynet. So then if everything does collapse and they take over, we're 100% we're 100% to blame. Like, what's our recourse? We did this to ourselves because we got so fucking lazy as a civilization that we just let machines take over.
A massive EMP and start over.
Like a what?
A massive EMP pulse and then start over from the Stone Ages.
No, we shouldn't start over. We've built so much good stuff. We just should be careful with how much power we give to machines, right? How much automation.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's also like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like people said it would happen before we were even close to any kind of automation. So people are like, "Hey, that's a good idea." Same thing with like cell phones and Star Trek. Someone saw it as a kid and was like, "That's a great idea.
That's
I'm
what I'm
gonna
saying.
work on that."
There's great technology. That's why I don't want to abolish all technology. I'm just saying,
No, obviously.
but because automation also, the more we automate stuff, the less people have jobs, right?
Yeah, but the less people have dangerous jobs also.
That's true. That's 100% true.
Yeah,
You're
so
right.
it's like a double-edged sword in that sense.
But I mean-
because you don't want people doing things that can get them killed.
That's true, but at the same time, you're gonna go to grocery stores. You're gonna lose all clerks. You actually, the way there's the new robots that stock the shelves, you're gonna also lose the stock people. It's gonna be robots coming from the back. You're gonna go to certain places where there might be like 2 humans working there in the back,
Yeah.
making sure the robots are working, right?
You're right. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be for a lot of things. And then there's also that Amazon technology where they're face tracking in the stores.
Yeah,
You don't even need to check out. It knows what you've grabbed and you leave and you're charged automatically.
yeah.
Like, how do you argue that? Like, hey, this said $5.99, but you charged me $6. Now, who do you fight with? You've already left.
Yeah,
It's weird. It's weird.
it's
cool,
a little weird.
but it's weird.
It's cool. You know what I don't like? I don't like everything being monitored
Yeah.
I mean,
I hate that shit.
we're monitored all the time.
all the time.
This stream is monitored. Everything we say and do and
But
fucking
this is
think
something that
monitored.
we're putting out publicly. So this, I'm aware.
Yeah.
The whole point of this is
Yeah.
so people watch
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
But you, every time you go to the grocery store, every time you go buy something, every time you go to your friend's house, all that driving, all that to be monitored and stored, so your pattern is recognized, the speeds you go at, all that. It's fucking scary, man. It's very, very scary. Like,
I think I've just
lost our
accepted
privacy.
that it's reality. Like, I don't, whatever. I'm not oblivious to it, but I also know that there's not much I can do without having to give up some of the things I like about it.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
that's actually the creepy part. Is
That's
that
the creepy part, yeah.
it's kind of like well, you want this? This has to
Gotta
come
give
with
us
it.
this, and this. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, that was your closets being built.
Oh, really?
They were just confirming the dimensions.
Of my closet?
Yeah, because they're like, do we put a door? I'm like, no, he wants it like this and like that. And they're like, okay, no problem.
You told him no door.
No door. A nice
Okay.
little frame for you to just go in there and leave Poseidon in there while you stream.
Okay, but there's space.
There's space. It's a standard closet.
Okay. Just gonna put my stuff in there. Yeah, I don't want a
Yeah.
door.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, by the way, at the construction site today.
Oh, really?
I have the guy going in to measure for window coverings. They're putting up new walls.
How many
They're
people are
breaking
there? Should we bring
space.
them coffee, you think?
I mean, I think they're probably like 5-6 guys today,
Yeah,
at least.
I might send
When I
Poseidon
went
over there.
yesterday, there was a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
It was intense. I wanted to like film some of it, but I was so like into the making sure they understood what we wanted,
Yeah.
and I just forgot. But yeah, like the dividing wall is up, so our space now is its own space.
Okay, so
So it's
I'm
pretty
gonna.
cool. It's pretty cool. It's exciting stuff.
If it is, I'll pass by and give them some donuts and coffee. Show them
I
some
still
love.
need to give them paint, like what walls. So we need to discuss that afterwards.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, what color
your
is each
office-
walls?
I mean, for your office, I just don't know what you want for your
Teal.
own studio. Teal. So we have black and white. I'll
If
see
you
if
mix
teal
them
can be
together,
fixed
you
from
could
that.
make it teal.
I think that's gray, but yeah.
Whatever. Poseidon, stop fucking
Poseidon.
laughing in your goddamn corner.
Why?
You look like a fucking boxing announcer the way you're holding it in this corner. The way
Yeah.
you're holding the microphone.
Well,
right
it's I've set it on my stomach actually.
Really? Why?
Because
Then I'll give you. There you go. A more respectable size window I gave you.
Yeah, how big is he now?
Just a little smaller than you. So yeah, so people were looking at the Instagram videos. Yeah, well, that's the whole studio. That's like Phil's office, my podcast studio, the rental
Oh.
podcast studio.
Okay, we're also seeing all the units next to us because that dividing wall wasn't up yet.
Oh,
it's
yeah, so
big, but it's not massive. Like, I wish we could open a whole floor
it's like,
studio,
it's
but
like
we're
less
not there.
than 2,000 square feet.
Yeah, it's like 1890 and some
Yeah.
change. It's a good size. I'm very happy with it. It seems like the guys doing the work and the soundproofing that they're using,
They know about
how they're
podcasts.
doing it. Yeah, they know their shit. Like,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay, so
I'm nervous, but I'm not concerned.
that's interesting.
I mean, like, I'm nervous to get to see it. Like, I'm anxious. I want to get in there. Fuck, I'm like this morning, right before we started the stream. You know, but no one else watching knows. I was sitting here. I was set up. I was drinking my coffee, and all the power went off.
Yeah.
So I went downstairs, and the construction crew that's been fucking drilling right now. Actually, I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Yeah, I heard that.
They cut the power because it's Saturday, and we're not going to ask anyone. It's not their fault. it's the fucking landlord's fault for not telling him there's a business upstairs that's open on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So they cut my power, and I was like, look, guys, you got to fucking put the power back. I found out that Monday they're doing more work. At least they told me this time. And yesterday I was trying to film my hole, and they drilled through my floor.
Oh, like they drilled through the floor. That's crazy.
What if I was standing there?
Well, you'd get a settlement check, sir.
Yeah, right.
I would sue the fuck out of them if they drilled my foot.
I mean,
first of all, I would break everything, and I would sue the fuck out of them.
Yeah, like there's a hole in the lobby now where the tile's broken, like right next to my door, right there, right in front of my door. So yeah, I miss being able to come into the studio and shoot my hole, shoot client work when I need the studio, do this just thing, but we just can't.
Well, only a few weeks away till the new studio is built, and we come up with new shows. This is another thing that I was interested in, Phil. Watching The Terminator yesterday made me rekindle my fire for like 80s and 90s movies, like nostalgia. You know, those classics. Of course. I want to do a show on that, like either. But Discord is cool because for those of you who don't know, actually, I should mention it now. So, a lot of shows happening this weekend, right? We're starting the weekend off with the morning show, which gets everyone eased into it. Today at 4:00 on the Patreon, In Bed with Poseidon. Poseidon has some interesting topics to talk about. Then at 5:00, the French Cast with JC Surrett is on live on Patreon. Then tomorrow, back on YouTube, we have Pantelis live at 4 p.m. And then Monday night at 8 p.m. on the Patreon Discord, we will be watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, the original movie.
The original. I haven't seen that shit in so many years.
It's so bad.
Well, why, you watched it recently?
I watched it 2 years ago again, and it's.
But I think...
Look, it's not that it doesn't hold, because it never held.
Yeah, that's why. It's goofy, right?
Yeah. It's camp. It's
camp.
That's
that's the kind of movies you want to talk over, because you have stuff to 100%. Talk about and laugh about it. Not like you're not gonna put Schindler's List, and then be like, bro, look, everything's in black and white, bro. Like, yeah.
Bro, check out that list. Check out that list.
Bro, it's all about lists. This guy. Schindler knows how to fucking write a list, bro. Imagine if you had an Excel spreadsheet. Like, no, there's nothing to say. But I think a campy movie like Buffy, you can have fun with.
Yeah, for sure. There's also like, I feel like, what's it called? Campy horror is the best thing to talk over.
Yeah, and it's
like
kind
of Legend of Hatchet or stuff like that. These like terrible B movies.
Or like
Did someone just send a link?
No, I was just looking just to make sure.
Oh, okay.
Olga wrote that Luke Perry's in it. Yeah, Luke Perry, who's dead now, is in it. And Luke Perry gave us a lot of good moments in the 90s, man. I remember...
He did.
90210, remember that show?
I remember 90210. I never really watched it. It wasn't like for me, but yeah, I remember it. And I remember Luke Perry.
Yeah.
Isn't that the zip code of like Beverly Hills or something?
I'm going to flip this fucking table.
What?
The show is called Beverly
Hills 90210. The show is called that.
Ah, I didn't know, bro.
I literally just said it. I said, "Do you remember Beverly Hills 90210?" And he's like, "Isn't that the zip code for Beverly Hills?"
No, you said, "Do you remember the show?" You just said 90210. You didn't say Beverly Hills.
That's why it's called now. Everyone knows this. 90210 is the zip code of Beverly Hills. I mean,
how old are you,
everyone knows it. That's why you just said it. You just said it. You didn't look it up.
That's exactly why he just. Can you name another zip code from another place in the United States?
I know 90210 being the zip code of Beverly Hills from Travis Scott song.
The point is, you know it.
An escort from 90210.
I know, but the point is, you know it. But you asked us as if you didn't when you knew the answer to it to make us all angry. People, we've already been through this.
No, he didn't. Dude, he's much younger than us.
It has nothing to do with. He knows, but he just admitted he knows.
I don't think he knows that he knows.
He just said that he knows. He heard it in a music video by Travis Scott or whatever about prostitutes in Beverly Hills. He knows. He has this condition where if he goes quiet for a while.
It's not a condition.
What is it?
A syndrome.
I wanted to confirm. I wasn't sure. That's why I was asking.
Okay.
I mean, I'll take that answer. It was his birthday. I'll allow it.
Okay, yeah, it was his birthday, yeah.
It was his birthday. Happy birthday, you fucking piece of shit. Why would you do that to us? You know it makes him angry.
Yeah, it makes me very angry.
Do what, bro? Calm down, bro. I didn't kill anyone. Jesus.
No, Christ. But why is that also... Found out. Why is that always your go-to? You ever realize that? Seriously. Whenever you do something stupid, instead of being like, yeah, okay, I knew I just had to say something, you're like, I didn't kill anyone. Like, that's always your excuse. Is that going to be, if anybody catches you raping someone, I didn't kill her, bro. Like, we're not mad at you for not killing someone. I'm pissed off at the shit you do. I'm not pissed off at the shit you don't do. Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
It just feels like sometimes people overreact to me a little too much.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't blame them.
I'm around you. I'm around you every day, Poseidon. I'm around you every day.
That's your choice.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying is I've already reached the limit where even little Poseidonisms are gonna piss me off. Because every day
He
it's
doesn't bother
something.
me as much as he bothers you, to be honest.
Yeah, of
I
course,
think
'cause
it
I'm
amuses me still. It's still a novelty to Poseidon. He's relatively new in my existence.
Most people are like that because they have him in small doses. I have to deal with him on hours a day, and it adds up. So
The best reaction to Poseidon that I've ever experienced was my wife when she first saw Poseidon. Like before she had ever met him, and he just appeared on this thing, right? It was just a random thing we were doing at the time, and she's like, "What the actual fuck?" And she was like, "No." She just couldn't even. And then I told her how old he was, and she's like, "Oh, okay." Like somehow the fact that he's not a 35-year-old man
Makes it
forgave
okay.
some of the weird things he does.
yeah, he's like, oh, he
She's
doesn't
like,
know
"Oh,"
any
he was
better.
like, he was like 22 at the time or 23. She's like, "Oh, okay, whatever. He's a kid."
But he
so
looks
when she
divorced,
thought-
so nobody believes it.
He does look divorced.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah, she
patchy
took all the
beard.
took all the fucking window treatments. All he has is this weird brothel thing in the back.
Yeah,
Hey, you
look-
got an air conditioner, huh? Good for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just saw that. What's that red rag hanging from the lamp? Is that like a...
That's
the
so
to tie
other
the
gay
curtain.
people know if they look through the window, they know that you're down to fuck?
That's for the curtains, to tie the curtains.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because it's just weird hanging there. It's very random.
It looks
Yeah,
cool.
because it was on the windowsill before, but I'm like, this is kind of weird, so I threw it on there. I don't know.
Respect. You're just, he's dressing the apartment up for the show. I like that. I respect that.
Hey, by the way, now that the police station moved out in the middle of the night in Parc-Ex,
Yeah.
in the mornings I'm driving around there, I feel like there's more cops. Like they added cops to give people tickets. Like they're hiding at the gas station, they're hiding on Lackady, they're hiding everywhere. Like
Well,
it's like
it takes them longer to get here, so they got to be around.
it's like they're telling
Yeah,
the
they're
local
doubling
population, go fuck yourselves. Like now we're really gonna fuck you.
Maybe. I mean, it's possible.
Because they're not looking for crimes. They're hanging out at the gas station. They stop like 1 out of 3 people that does that illegal straight line. You know where you're supposed to turn left. They won't stop
Jared.
everyone. They'll look at you. They'll wait. They'll be like, okay, I'm gonna fuck with this guy, which is fucking crazy. It's like they're not even there to uphold the law. They're just there to fuck around.
Last night, I saw one of the most dangerous things I've ever seen. An SQ officer, not a City of Montreal, but like the Highway Patrol.
He tried to
They
take
had
Poseidon's
planted
food away.
themselves- No, they had planted themselves on the northbound access ramp of the Champlain Bridge, like coming back onto the island of Montreal from Brossard.
Yeah.
Okay, and they had put themselves right, because I don't know if you've been on the new Champlain. There's like this one part that's very steep, so you can't see further ahead, except for the top of the bridge.
Yeah.
And right as you come up, everybody accelerates. It's an uphill. There's 2 fucking patrol cars, and they're clearly visibly standing out in the open with radars.
On the
And
highway.
on the fucking bridge.
It's basically a highway, bro. You're going.
It's a highway, yeah.
yeah.
But being a bridge makes it worse.
Yeah.
And people were slamming their brakes because they were getting scared because they were speeding.
Not just that.
That
Also,
is-
when you see somebody doing this to you, you don't automatically think it's like I've seen cops do that, and I'm like, is this guy gonna shoot me? Like, what is that? Like, it doesn't click
Yeah.
right away.
But my point being, it was extremely dangerous. Like they could have easily created a massive bottleneck traffic accident right there.
Yeah,
but
they're-
they're cops, so they do what they want.
Yeah.
And as I drove by, because the guy in front of me braked, I swerved. The cop pulled one of these. Like he watched me. I'm like, what are you even doing? Like, I wasn't speeding. I swerved lanes because the guy slammed the brakes.
Yeah, we're in a weird.
I should fucking file a complaint.
We're in a weird position now with cops too, because they're probably like, look, you keep saying we beat everyone up, so now we're just gonna give speeding tickets. Like we're just gonna my ticket that I
Imagine.
got last week, it was complete bullshit, so I'm gonna fight it.
Fight it.
Yeah, I have to fight it. Like the more I looked into it, I was like, wait a second, this doesn't. Why am I accepting this? This is fuck that shit.
No, you shouldn't. If you didn't do anything, fuck it.
No.
Hell, if you did do something, could fight it anyways. It's not like they give a shit.
No. Well, if I did do something that's different, I would just pay. Be like, all right, I fucked up. You caught me.
I mean, yeah, probably. But I'm just saying, they don't give a shit. They'll just ticket you. And the fact that they just oh, you're lucky I could have done this. What is
That's
that?
what bothered me. Yeah.
Which laws are you protecting?
Yeah.
and
Every time I
serving
would
and
question it,
upholding?
he'd be like, I could just say that you were going this much, and then they'll take your car. I was like, wait a second. So now you're making. So what am I like? Why would you even suggest that?
He's basically threatening you by telling you how nice he is, that he's not gonna make shit up.
Yeah.
That is, if I was I don't know, a fucking administrator in the police, I'd be like, that's grounds for dismissal on the spot. If there was proof that someone did that, that's crazy.
Okay, but I know already the judge is gonna be like, well, that's hearsay. I mean, look, I'm telling you what happened. I'm telling you exactly what happened. I'm under oath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you exactly how it went down. If you choose to not believe me, that's your problem. But what's the point of asking
Yeah.
me to go under oath? Then don't put me under oath.
if you're not going to believe anything I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And you don't even need to prove your innocence. You just need to raise reasonable doubt. Right?
Well, reasonable doubt is that whole area under construction. Like, how do you want me to fucking go to speeds in a time frame where my car, here are the statistics, can't reach that speed in that time? Like, it's not. Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah,
What he's saying is not possible.
And it's not like you were coming down. You took a turn.
Yeah, I took a turn. I was on Sherbrooke. Took a turn down.
It's not possible. It's not possible for the car. Anyways.
It would be possible if there was no cars, it was empty, and I was racing, and I turned fast and went straight down.
Like Tokyo Drift style.
Yeah, different story, but that's not what happened. It was 3:30 in the afternoon on a Monday. It's
Near,
not.
Jacques Cartier Bridge.
Yeah. No.
I hate that whole area. Driving around there is fucking. You have to do that weird roundabout to get to the bridge if you're not coming down from the north side. It's such a. The whole side of the city to me is a fucking clusterfuck for driving.
Yeah,
I hate crossing Saint Laurent.
Yeah, the whole
side.
city downtown though, that's actually pretty fucked up. They've every time I go downtown now.
I haven't been downtown in like 5 months.
I'm doing comedy again now. Oh, by the way, so I got comedy next week. I'm going to be at the Nest, I think, for 3 days. Some people I saw like start doing comedy, and then they're like, you know what? I'm not going back to clubs for a while until there's a vaccine or shit like that. Like some people are really nervous about doing stand up, which I don't blame them. Like I'm not saying anything against them, but I'm just thinking, what do you do? Like, let's say, remember when they were saying you go back to work, and if you don't want to go back to work, then it's your problem, type of thing.
Right.
So for jobs, even like stand up or I don't know, anything you want, if they're offering you and they go, look, you could get paid again, go back to work, and then you choose not to, are you still entitled to look for money from the government?
I'm not sure.
You know what I'm saying, right?
It's an unclear area still because a lot of places haven't gone back to work. So
like I'm saying, when the government decides you can't run your business, then yeah, if you're going to tell me I can't make money, I have no right to make money, then you got to help out or else I'm fucked. You know what I mean? I'm paying taxes.
I've spoken to a lot of people who use contractors, and I don't mean like construction. I mean freelancers, right?
Yeah.
Even I use freelancers. When I have bigger projects, I hire people. A lot of people are like, yeah, no, I'm not going to start working yet again. I'm like, why the fuck not? They're like, I'm getting my CERB money. It's fine. And a lot of people have told me the same thing, that they're having problem finding like freelance, whatever the labor might be, because they're like, why would I come into work and fucking bust my ass when I can get free $2,000?
That's what I mean. Yeah. Is it like, where's the line? And I'm not saying I have the answer.
That's the argument against UBI, because whenever people talk about UBI, they're like, yeah, it's a basic, it's not a lot. Neither is $2,000, by the way. It's not a lot of money.
No.
But people are like, no, humans are inherently good, and even if they have a bit of money, they'll still want to be productive. No, a lot of people will take that money and they'll fucking smoke weed and jerk off all day on their couch. Not everybody, but those few, that percentage ruins the concept of UBI for everyone else.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just wondering. Like I'm just thinking stand up for me, but it doesn't have to be stand up. It could be anything.
It applies to a lot of things.
Yeah, it applies to everything. Like should the government have to give you money if your job is willing to have you back, and you don't want to go?
If it's your choice at that point, I don't know.
It's a strange thing because a vaccine. First of all, I don't know when that could. We don't know.
We're still far off from.
Yeah, we're still far off.
At least 18 months away from a vaccine, at least.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just. I don't like. It's not for me to make that decision, but I'm just saying there's an interesting. I've also seen shitty comics that are like, I'm not going back to stage unless this and that's like, yeah, you weren't getting invited before that either, so don't worry about it.
Invited anyway.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Like, I'm retiring from comedy. Yeah. Okay.
But I'm talking about people that generally it's their job and they won't go on tour. They stopped, and I'm like, that's an interesting gray area if you want to take money from the government. Like,
yeah, but now they're the WHO or the CDC, I forget. I think it was the WHO who's getting pressure from all these doctors that apparently it's completely airborne. Like they're talking about airborne transmission as one of the main sources of transmission, worse than touch. Like
it's crazy.
Maybe it's true. I don't know. I'm not a
fucking
doctor.
It probably is. I mean,
my only thought process about it is that if it truly was airborne and so virulent and contagious, wouldn't more of us have it by now?
So here's the other thing. I don't think we're all aware of it. I think everyone's handling it differently. Their systems, their bodies. Like I saw Luis J. Gomez posted he took tests yesterday just to see, and he came back negative for COVID-19 but positive for the antibodies, which means at some point he got infected, didn't even know.
That's right.
And a lot of people were either carriers or they like, holy fuck, antibodies. I didn't have anything. Like my whole year, I'd never been sick. So some people are really not affected at all. Others, it's devastating. Others, they can't breathe well. They're completely fucked. So probably a lot more people do have it, and it just seemed less likely to get it because certain people just wouldn't get it.
My logic, though, like, let's say I had it and I had no symptoms, right?
Yeah.
At all. I felt great. I've been in contact with so many people within my family circles, like in close contact.
Yeah.
In a group, a pool of 20 people, some old, some young, some kids. One of those people, if I gave it to them, at least one must get symptoms.
Right, but here's the thing. Remember how they said if you're asymptomatic, you can't really transmit it?
Yeah, because you're not coughing and stuff. But like,
No,
I
but
have
I'm
allergies, so I've been coughing this whole period.
Right, but what I'm saying is if you're not let's say if you get it, I think that's why it doesn't spread everywhere. Like, let's say if you get it, but you're one or two of those people that doesn't transmit it to people, you don't feel anything. It's kind of like you absorb it, and then it dies with you basically because you don't give it. If it hits enough people like you, it slows down the spread, right?
That's true.
So
I mean, I'm not sure if that's true. Is that like
No, I'm saying if it hits enough, if
sense.
it hits enough people that are asymptomatic, and they said that if you're asymptomatic, you're less likely to transmit it.
Yeah, it's less likely. Not
It's less likely to.
Yeah,
no,
less
not
likely.
100%. But I'm saying if it's especially in this time when you've spent your life, you spend most of the time with the same people, your
That's
wife
true.
and the same people. So you could have all grown immune to each other just based on that. Like two of you got it who were asymptomatic, you didn't spread it, and then bam.
I mean, it's possible, but again, I'm not a doctor. It's just the idea. Like yesterday, I went into the mall for the first time since all this started because
That's
I wanted to get something, right?
Yeah.
And I wore a mask, and it was the first time that I told you yesterday when we spoke. It's the first time I wore a mask where I actually felt like it was keeping me safe. Other times I do it to make other people feel comfortable or because I have to.
Yeah.
Here I was like, oh, fuck that. I'm wearing a mask. I never touched it. I never pulled on it. And I've been on set with like 40 people where we had masks and we were taking them off because it's a long day. But here I was like, no. There's so many people in the mall. There's like three categories. There's people in the middle, like who are like maybe keeping a mask on but not wearing it right or whatever. Then you have people who are walking around in hazmat suits.
Oh yeah, they're overdoing it. They're like gloves.
Crazy. And then you have
seen
other
those.
people who are like hugging and kissing strangers that they ran into, like as if nothing's happening. So there's like a whole spectrum of people. And I'm not sure where I fall. Like I'm definitely I'm aware of it. I try not to touch my face.
Well, I wore a
don't
mask
think so.
a few days ago when I went to the construction site, and you were like, "Why the fuck are you wearing a mask?"
Because I hadn't seen you wear one yet, and I was just confused. Also, you were wearing it on your neck, so I was perplexed.
No, I was wearing it on my face. I put it on my neck when I saw when I came inside because everyone was looking at me weird.
Well, I walked into the construction site with a mask yesterday because I had it from when I had gone out earlier. And I walked in and they're like, whoa, you can't be in here. And I took it off. They're like, oh, it's just you. What's up? I'm like, I guess disguises do work. Like, that's how superheroes do it. They had no idea who I was. I'm like, okay. And if you think about it, the only real difference of me in a mask, because I don't have hair, is you can't see my mouth. I basically have like a fuzzy mask.
Your mouth is a
Not that
dead giveaway.
different.
Your mouth is the dead giveaway. We know it's you from the mouth. Other people, it's the eyes. You, it's the mouth. Because they say
wearing a
they say that that's the disguise, right? It's your eyes. They say
I
that
guess.
normally people
I don't know.
could
This
tell
was
other
weird.
people from the eyes.
They really did not know it was me. They were like, get the fuck out. Who are you?
It's all in the eyes, Chico.
Shut the fuck up, Poseidon. Oh,
Yeah,
speaking of which, Poseidon, I saw a movie on Netflix called The Color of Space.
It's black.
Really?
It's with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, it's not
Go
good.
on.
Yeah, it's not good.
I didn't expect
It's not, but it has a lot of potential. It was about a
Like all
meteorite
Nicolas
that
Cage
falls.
movies.
It was like a meteorite that falls from the sky, and it has this color purple or whatever, and then it kind of mutates things and infects people, like the alien life form or whatever the fuck.
Oh, kind of like that evolution movie there, with what's his face, the guy from X-Files.
The Covenant.
Maybe
Yeah.
something
The
like
movie's called Evolution. Yeah, it's a fun movie. Evolution.
yeah, maybe something like that. But it was more like they had like scary stuff in it, like one. that-
Okay.
But it was okay. It's just it was a good concept, but poorly executed.
Hold on.
Okay, I
The
see.
concept, I just looked into it. It's a Lovecraft story. It's a short story by Lovecraft.
Yeah, it's a great
That's why it
concept.
has promise,
Yeah.
but it got caged.
It got to,
They caged it.
yeah, it wasn't good. And
what's Love
Cage also overacted the fuck out of some weird scenes that he didn't need to. Like in some scenes, it felt like he didn't know what role he was playing, and he started acting like a parody of Donald Trump. I swear to God, there was a scene where I was like, "Yo, am I high right now? Like, what the fuck's happening?" Like he's
I
just
swear to
talking
God,
normally.
He's amazing.
He was-
like his overacting is on another level.
Yeah, because he was talking normally to his family, and they did something like they weren't listening to him, they weren't respecting him. He was talking to him, and then he goes,
the
"You
beast.
don't want to respect me. You don't. I do this. What the fuck is that? A Donald Trump impression out of nowhere? What the fuck's he doing? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I was like, and he kept doing that throughout the movie. It's like the way they were filming the scenes. They were filming at different times, and he forgot how he acted. So they were just different fucking. But whenever he was going to the Trump, it was so weird.
The fucking inspiration hit him. He's like, I'm gonna go hard.
Yeah,
like Wicker Man. Wicker Man is definitely something we should do on Discord.
Oh really?
It is. Have you never seen Wicker Man?
I don't think so.
It is possibly the worst fucking movie I have ever seen, and I've seen The Room. This is like...
First of all, The Room is great.
The original Room or the...
The original Room is one of the
Room.
greatest films ever fucking made.
I did.
Good story, Phil.
Hey, doggy. I did not recognize you. No, the bees... I forget the story. It's somewhere in New England. He goes to like some fucking sect of like weird sapphic lesbians who hate men, like Amazon style.
I like it already.
And they try to murder him. And the famous line from the movie is, "They're trying to kill me," and he just goes, "The bees!" He just starts screaming about the fucking bees.
Like the bees as in the bitches?
No, like they have beehives and stuff. They're trying to get him stung or something. I forget the whole premise of that.
Speaking of getting him stung, Girl, that's how...
My Girl, yeah, I was thinking of that too.
Yeah, because it's on Netflix. I put it on for my dog yesterday when I went to take a walk, so she was watching that. But I stopped it I didn't want her to get depressed. I didn't want her to show Macaulay Culkin dying via bee.
Spoiler alert. It's not Macaulay Culkin. It's the other kid. It is Macaulay Culkin.
It's Macaulay Culkin.
I don't think it is.
It's Macaulay
I'm gonna check
Culkin.
right now.
What do you mean, My Girl?
Is that Macaulay Culkin? It is Macaulay Culkin.
Of course
You're
it's
right.
Macaulay Culkin.
My bad.
This isn't a debate.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
But definitely.
It was one of his iconic
roles. Put it on the
roles.
fucking list, man. Wicker Man. With Nicolas Cage. Any Nicolas Cage movie is a good idea for the Discord movie nights. Like,
yes, it could be fun.
No, it's Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage, with the exception of like National Treasure, which are just fun movies.
They're good, Disney.
They're what?
They're Disney movies.
Yeah, they're fun. He goes on an adventure. There's some fucking cave diving, whatever. But Wicker Man, you gotta check it out. It's fucking. But Nicolas Cage is. Have you ever seen that meme that says that Marilyn Manson looks like Nicolas Cage pretending to be Marilyn Manson?
Oh yeah, I've seen. They do look
so
alike.
Accurate.
They do look alike.
Fucking accurate. He's a fucking Coppola. It's hard to believe he's a Coppola.
Who, Cage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Cage was also in early Coppola. He was in The Outsiders.
That's right. Yes, he was. And that seems like the role he was born to play.
He was in. You know who else was in The Outsiders?
Everyone.
Tom Cruise. I think Christian Slater was in it.
Yeah, I think Christian Slater was in it.
Yeah, there was a lot of. It's interesting when you go back and you see like, oh fuck, that's X person.
Check it.
And it's like they didn't know how good they had it back then. Like with actors, they like The Outsiders had like a number of like the best young actors that went on to become huge. And it was like
I mean, we'll probably feel the same way in 20 years about movies. So we have Matt Dillon, Rob Lowe, Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
The who's who of the 80s.
Yeah.
I don't know. 80s movies and 90s movies, nostalgia is the best. Like,
well, me, I loved it because it was I think the first time in my life that movies that I got to watch after I had read the books. I didn't know the movies existed. So these were books I got into in high school. My English teacher got me into them, like all the S.C. Hinton novels. And so in my head, I had already imagined the stories. With the faces, the people. So then to see them made into a movie was interesting because it kind of broke that barrier. I was like, oh look, I saw the movie more as a creation because normally when you're young and you watch movies, you suspend all this belief and that's what it is. But that was the first time where I saw artistic liberties being taken and knowing, I kept thinking, somebody made this and this is how they viewed it.
The thing is, I used to read a lot. I'm guilty of not reading at all anymore. Like I don't read much. Except for nonfiction, like I'll read random things, but I won't read fiction because I just don't have the time. Like I'm just too many things going on.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, one of the first movies I ever saw that was adapted from a graphic novel was actually 300. Because the types of books that I was reading in high school, none of them, like I was really into what's his name? Ken Follett. I don't know how to pronounce it. He did a lot of these like spy stories from the Second World War. Cold War, like I was into that. Like they're on the Spruce Goose and there's like an assassin.
Spruce Goose.
Like stuff like that, doing a transatlantic voyage. But and 300 is frame for frame.
Yeah.
Like if you've read the graphic
Frank
novel
Miller.
and then you watch the movie,
no?
it is frame. Yeah, it's Frank Miller.
Yeah.
frame for fucking frame. You
But-
could literally be in the theater with the book and hold it up and match the frame. So there was no creative liberties taken. It's so interesting.
But you know what's crazy is that the book makes you understand why there's monsters better than the movie, because in the movie, it's people don't realize just the way it's being told, that it's being told as a story from who is
survivor.
it? The guy who survived who got his eye cut off
what's
there.
his name with the one? Yeah, what's his
Delios
name?
or whatever the fuck they call him. I forgot.
Delios, yeah.
So the reason why is because he's trying to describe what he saw. So he's like, the immortals and, these big monsters, because, if you never saw
Yeah.
these animals. So he's trying to describe. So now you're seeing from them imagining what they must have looked like. In the graphic novel, you get it. But in the movie, people were like, wait a second. Did they not
'cause
go
in
to
the
war?
graphic
Was it a
novel,
myth?
There's like a shift. There's like
Yeah.
a shift in the artwork, the way it's positioned when it switches from him telling the story to the story.
Yeah. So
in
you
the
could,
movie, it just flows.
it just
So, like,
flows. So people couldn't tell, because I remember people asking me like, wait, did that really happen? Or was it not a war? It was a myth? I go, no, it was a real war. He's just... this is not based on the war directly. This is based on the graphic novel that's based on the war. So there's a lot of stuff that the graphic novel took from history, like all the one-liners, Laconian wit.
One-liners are famous
He-
one-liners
yeah,
from
famous.
Herodotus.
Yeah. From Herodotus, they're
Which,
famous
again, we don't know if
one-liners.
they're actually true, but we're taking him at his
That's
word,
what he
right?
said. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's what he said.
they're taken from history, but the stuff about like the monsters and it's just him trying to describe what he saw to other people that never saw these Persians, and they're trying. So that's fucking interesting. But yeah, nobody who saw the movie, like if you didn't know about the book, to them it just seemed like a mythological fight. But it's because he was trying to
to some
describe
extent,
stuff
yeah.
he never saw. Yeah, it's
Describes
interesting.
them like superhumans, and they were these weirdos with all this shit. But like, have you ever seen 300 Spartans, the original from 1967?
A long time ago. Yeah.
That movie kills me because it's not a great movie. It's not a terrible movie. It's fine. It's got that Ben-Hur vibe,
Yeah.
But I love when they do the one-liners. He does them in ancient Greek, and it's terrible. And they're like, "Bring us your weapons, Spartan leader." And he's like, stands really tall. He goes, "Molon lave," and you're like, "What the fuck?
With the accent.
What the fuck?"
Molon
It's like
lave.
A little bit of subtitling. But even though it's terrible, it tells you that the audience, even though we have access to more information now, the audience of 50 years ago was much more cultured because there's no subtitling. They took for granted that the audience would know
What
the
it
classics
means.
at least.
Yeah.
You know what I
the
mean?
classic. That's interesting.
Yeah, but like Molon Labe, it's just fucking, and that's an easy one because it's 2 words. Then he does a Aitan Ayapitais, and you're like, what the fuck did he say?
Itani epitas.
Yeah, like, and I was like, okay, that's and 300 uses all of those one-liners
In
but
English.
crafts them into the story,
Yeah.
like in a colloquial, casual conversation.
Yeah,
for
like
the
when
most part.
Gorgo's telling him either you come back with your shield or on it.
Yeah, like that's classic of Spartan history, right? One of their things, you know. Spartan never gives up his shield unless he's dead.
Yeah.
I love how people idolize the Spartans, but they were psychopaths.
What do you mean,
They were
psychopath?
basically psychos. They were just like war-loving psychos. They just wanted to fight all the fucking time.
Yeah, that's amazing. They,
I
were-
mean,
they,
I don't know
That
if
is
that's
amazing.
amazing.
they were UFC today if it was a country.
Yeah, UFCA.
Yeah, that's what they were. Because they.
It's pretty fucked up. It's pretty fucked up. They would
Well,
throw
it was a
kids in
different. It was a
holes.
different world, Phil. It was a different world.
I know.
They
You're
needed
right.
to survive. They needed to be tough.
And especially Greeks. Greeks love to tout how like Greece created democracy, which is 100% true, obviously. But what we never talk about is like we had democracy for a little bit, and then we had like really hardcore Spartan rule for a really long time, and then a little bit more democracy, and then the Spartans were in charge again. So it wasn't always democracy. It was
Of
like shifting
Greece?
back and forth. Yeah, during the Peloponnesian Wars,
dur-
depending
dur-
on which parts of Greece you lived in and what was
Yeah,
under
but
control.
Greece didn't exist as a country yet for Greece to
No,
be
I mean
under
in
one.
that area.
Yeah. Like Sparta
Greek
did their
tribes, like-
thing. Like Sparta had their
Yeah,
own
Sparta
slaves.
did their thing, but even Athens had dictatorships that came and went, and
Yeah.
democracy was reinstated, and it went away, and then shit happened, and then the Spartans took over a bit, and they burnt the fucking. Did they burn the Acropolis?
No, that was the Persians.
Those the Persians?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And then
you're
we
right.
got revenge by destroying everything. Alexander the Great is the one who got
making
revenge.
it better.
But you see, Alexander the Great, another interesting thing. When I was telling Poseidon this last time, was fucking.
We were talking about it on the show last week.
Oh yeah, when he went in and he didn't want to destroy the Persian culture because he's like, no, this is important. We should mix it in. We should have because
Yeah,
they have
he
a lot
liked
of
it. He's like,
yeah,
you got hot bitches and hot dudes.
no. There's a
I
lot
liked
of
it.
there's a lot of positives, to learn from them. So that was fucking interesting, that kind of stuff. But we don't talk about it now. Whenever we talk about ancient times, we think that everyone was just like slaughter and
I
don't
don't-
deal
yeah.
with them. But
That's crazy.
The culture was different. It's very interesting to look back at that and then look at where we are now.
I wonder how they'll talk about our culture today in 100 years. I
Oh,
wonder.
we're the worst right now.
We are the
Yeah.
worst.
The worst.
Fucking suck.
Yeah. They were, they made it to a time where a good portion of the world didn't fucking need to worry about water or food, this and that. They closed their eyes to the rest of the hungry, orphaned, starving world, and they started crying about offensive jokes. This was the worst time in history. Like, my life is so bad. He called me fat. There's children starving, right? Oh my God, fuck them. It's depressing. No, my life is so bad. He tweeted
Where can I
at
donate?
me.
Can I donate to them?
We're going to get remembered. Because we're just going to fall into, the annals of history. With the rest of them, we're going to get, boxed in as the shittiest time ever. When we had the technology, we had the resources to be able to help the world. And instead, everyone, the energy people spend, instead of creating something for their community and going out to help, the energy they spend trying to cancel someone that disagrees with them or, just someone who offended them online is remarkable. Remarkable.
It's fucking incredible is what it is.
It's sad.
Yeah,
I think we should be erased from the histories.
Because we're in it now. So even now, we can't see the full impact of our stupidity. But in 100, 200, fucking in 1,000 years...
Saying we like us three?
No, we as in
general,
the world, society. Because there's kids now, bro, that don't know if they're gonna eat this week. They're not sure.
No, that's true.
There's so much happening in the world, and like look at Yemen. There's so much happening in the world, and then it's like people put all this energy in nonsense.
I mean, to some people, it's not nonsense. It's all subjective, but to me, it's fucking nonsense. Dude. Like cancel culture is nonsense. I mean. To go after someone who's committed a crime, obviously that's
a different story. But I see people like even I see adults with real jobs. They'll go on Twitter, and they will spend hours fighting with people over that joke is offensive to Irish people, and they're going just hammering. Why
Irish don't give a shit.
But why don't you put that same energy? Take all that energy, and then I don't know, go to your local fucking shelter or politicians use that same anger to send letters to a politician who fucked over a small country. Why are we fucking helping out Saudi Arabia when they're basically torturing the Yemenis? Do you know what I mean? And all these Yemenis children are being born all fucked
Yemenis?
up. Yeah, the people from Yemen. Yeah. How come you don't take that energy and put it into something really offensive? They won't.
People don't even fucking know about it.
Do you know why? Because we've developed a very selfish generation that's all about me. I matter.
Yeah.
What do I care about that fucking kid? I'm offended. The kid's starving. How is that worse than me being offended?
Yeah.
This affects me personally. And creating that generation, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a circle of like the younger kids to come up and be like, Mom, Dad, that's a little fucking stupid, Be more caring and then turn it around.
Gen Zers now, they're not that generation. They're not the ones who are going to fix things.
No, it's the one after them.
It's a fucking shame because there was potential for our generation to really do something interesting. Like millennials, like even exennials, like the older millennials, like I guess technically we're exennials, because we remember the world before the internet. Like we had, sorry,
I'm straight.
Okay, sure. It's too hot in here. I need to turn the AC back on.
Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up. Anyways, we're calling it a show. It's noon.
I'm taking my shirt off.
So try to be good to people, I guess. I don't know, help out wherever the fuck you can.
Be good to people.
Stop crying over nonsense. And you can continue your adventure with us today because on Patreon at 4 o'clock, In Bed with Poseidon starts. And then at 5 o'clock, it's the Pantelis French cast with my guest, JC Surrett, this afternoon. Then tomorrow, we're back with Pantelis live here on YouTube. And on Monday on the Patreon, we are all together watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, at 8 o'clock in the PM Monday night. Patreon.com/Pantelis. Yeah.
Patreon.com/Pantelis because I spoke over you. I'm asking people who are watching because I'm curious. I don't know if anyone gives a shit. Should I attempt to document the building of this new studio?
Oh, I say yes.
The first castle, the first fort in the empire. Should we document it?
I say yes.
And I want to, but I don't know if people give a shit. So
I say people give a shit about Poseidon videos. Which, by the way, you got to give me the camera, Poseidon. I gotta edit the videos. You're just holding on to my fucking GoPro.
Well, hold on. I had given you the GoPro and you downloaded a bunch of videos.
No. That was you still have it from the last time I downloaded videos.
No, I had given it to you and you gave it back to me.
You still have. I'm telling you, you still have it from all the stuff that I downloaded. We made videos of the stuff that we could make videos of.
No.
Yeah.
No. There's that time we went for haircuts. You have that. You have.
Yeah, I'm not. There's nothing good on those.
Impossible.
I'm telling you.
I filmed some very good stuff.
Well, we'll talk about it. Give me the camera.
My name is Phil Balabanos. You can find me at balabanos.com.
I'm Pantelis. Poseidon, where are they going to find you?
The Poseidon 69 on Instagram and